Part 18. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Chingjo Se. Chapter 172. The door of Huanyu is not open on the roadside, and you need to walk a short distance. Chen Shen got off the taxi and blocked the dazzling sunlight. There was an office building across the road, and he could see several well-dressed white-collar workers holding umbrellas. Walking along the path, Chen Shen saw Zhang Ying coming out with something in her arms. Zhang Ying was stunned, but Chen Shen did not stop. Zhang Ying avoided Chen Shen's gaze at first, and when Chen Shen approached, she began to look at Chen Shen again. "Boss, You are right," Chen Shen interrupted Zhang Ying, then took out a business card from his pocket and handed it over, and said, "I can't do it, and I can't compromise." "What can I do?" "Change the industry." Zhang Ying's mouth opened slightly. She only understood the two sentences roughly, as if the boss knew what he was going to say. Just now inside, Zhang Benrui asked her to wait, but Zhang Ying didn't wait. As she said, this job has lost the initial enthusiasm. She felt that she was very energetic and willing to endure hardships, but her boss didn't seem to agree with her methods. What about the company? She encountered another bad thing. The master at work didn't seem to be the same as the master she understood. Without enthusiasm, she felt that the boss couldn't bow his head, so she acted as a lubricant. From the perspective of career, there was a sense that even if I, Zhang Ying, had to leave, I had to leave for a valuable reason, so that I wouldn't gain nothing from this job. "Chen, can you?" "Who is it?" Zhang Ying asked in a low voice. "My sister. Your personality has its own advantages. Instead of being slowly shaped by the environment, it's better to go to a place where you can play your advantages." Zhang Ying smiled a little embarrassedly, as if there was a ray of hope after a dark period. "Just unemployed, found a job again? Don't you disapprove of me?" Zhang Ying looked at Chen Shen. Chen Shen smiled and said, "Does it matter whether I recognize it or not?" Zhang Ying was stunned, and then a smile appeared on her face. Passing by, Zhang Ying watched Chen Shen enter the door of Huanyu. At first, she wanted to say whether to change her temper. What about now? Zhang Ying vaguely felt that she seemed to have done something right. Shaking her head and sighing, she actually felt relaxed as if she had sailed through thousands of mountains. Chen Shen's face was expressionless since he entered the door. What is Zhang Ying's personality suitable for? Service industry. She is enthusiastic, patient, and responsible. The first batch of 30 direct-operated stores of Chen Hotpot are in great need of people. With some training, it won't be a problem for her to become a hotpot restaurant manager. If she works hard, she will have a lot of room for promotion. In Chen Shen's opinion, Zhang Ying did the right thing. Now she has both face and money in her hands. In the public office area on the third floor, many people are still discussing what just happened. Someone found out that the HR department has already handled Zhang Ying's resignation. "Sister Wen, you are awesome." Chen Shen's role was removed and his agent was fired. I don't know if Chen Shen regrets this bitter fruit now. Haha, this is really a happy office article. I am enjoying eating melons so much, let alone you, Sister Wen. Several people slid their office chairs to Wang Ziwen's desk, as if they were afraid that Wang Ziwen couldn't hear what they said. In the past few days, the company's gossips were flying all over the sky. It is true that Chen Shen suffered a big loss. It is rumored that Wang Ziwen has a relationship with the board of directors. Now it seems that it has been confirmed. Many people want to add icing on the cake, praise and lick. Wang Ziwen smiled but said nothing. This wave not only vented her anger, but also greatly increased her reputation. She thanked Chen Shen for his stupidity in her heart. In her opinion, this matter was not so serious, but Chen Shen's character of being the best in the world made it serious. Now the benefits have fallen on her, and she feels a bit lucky. Wang Ziwen coughed twice, Some things, everyone just needs to know it in their hearts. Now it's working hours, work is the priority. A few casual words, another round of rainbow fart. There are dozens of people in the entire office area, many of them are looking up at Wang Ziwen, not to mention that many people envy those who are close to Wang Ziwen. A figure suddenly appeared in the corridor. Someone was suddenly stunned when he was telling his colleagues about the whole story of this melon. The person you are talking about suddenly appeared, very surprised. Then, all eyes looked towards the corridor. Chen Shen walked in expressionlessly, without looking at anyone, ignoring anyone, and sat down at the workstation vacated by Zhang Ying. Zhang Benrui, who had been sitting in a leisure area on the far left, also saw Chen Shen and immediately stood up and walked over. The real owner is here, why come at this time? Are you going to be laughed at by us? The wind direction seemed to be very stable, and some people were bolder and said to the people around them. See, I said from the beginning that he is not smart. The status of a top artist is indeed very high, but you haven't debuted yet, why bother? Don't, he has debuted now. Dating variety show? Ha ha ha. Speaking of this, I want to laugh too. Vegetarian wolves have become a meme on Douyin. There were discussions and pointing fingers. Most of them were fine. A few people close to Wang Ziwen were louder. Wang Ziwen didn't say anything to stop them. She felt that Chen Shen, the young man, had already lost the game. As long as she didn't say sarcastic words, it would be fine. Other people's mouths were not hers. She could do whatever she wanted. If Chen Shen was smarter, he would get more benefits by giving in at this time. Tough. Humph. Chen Shen frowned. He heard someone say his name and slid his chair to the side. It was a boy who looked up at him from time to time. Chen Shen asked in a soft tone, "The cup looks nice? How much does it cost?" The male staff member was a little confused, but still instinctively replied, "It's not expensive, it's 28, I use it for coffee." Chen Shen smiled at him, then looked at Zhang Benrui who was standing next to him. "Uncle Zhang, transfer 84 yuan to him." Not to mention the confused male staff, Zhang Benrui is also confused. "What do you mean?" The next second, Chen Shen moved very quickly. The ceramic cup felt heavy in his hand, and there was still a little bit of coffee on the bottom inside. Chen Shen used a lot of force, not a parabola, like a badminton smash. Bang! The white ceramic cup fell to the ground 5 or 6 meters away and exploded instantly, leaving debris all over the ground. Ah! Me! What? At the sudden movement, some girls instinctively covered their ears and looked around in horror. Several people stood up, confused and frightened. Wang Ziwen came back to her senses, immediately turned around and said a few words to the person next to her, and then stood up. "Chen Shen, what are you going to do? This is a company, not your home." Chen Shen was still sitting on the office chair, looked at Wang Ziwen and said with a smile, "So surprised. Aren't you quite rude? I'll learn from you." "What's wrong? Don't you get used to it?" "Wang Ziwen, you." A passionate male employee wanted to say something, but was immediately grabbed by the people around him and winked frequently. Many people only realized now and looked at Chen Shen with complicated expressions. This guy named Chen Shen, even if he suffered a loss, he was still the same Chen Shen from the beginning. There are not many people who dare to throw a cup at Joy. Zhang Benrui, who was standing next to Chen Shen, was still in a daze. He was an old man and his mind was full of human feelings and sophistication. When he suddenly encountered such a scene, it had something to do with him. Even though he was old, his heart was still pounding. Is this a passionate young man, so terrifying? This time, Chen Tianhui came so quickly that even he looked a little panicked. This scene was very unfamiliar. Dozens of colleagues stood up, including Wang Ziwen, looking at the young man sitting by the window. In the aisle, the broken pieces of the ceramic cup and a little impurity of black coffee looked like a flamboyant flower. Many people think that the scene will probably be remembered for a long time. Is there an artist like Chen Shen in the entertainment industry? Chen Tianhui's expression changed several times, and then he forced a smile on his face. Who is so careless? You can't even hold the cup. Xiaozhang, please deal with it quickly. The person who was named was stunned. Huh? He looked at Chen Tianhui and then at Chen Shen. Wouldn't this be dealt with? Wang Ziwen looked over. Mr. Chen. Chen Tianhui glared. Xiaozhang, I can't call you, can I? Xiaozhang said aggrievedly, and then went to get the broom. Many people looked at each other. Chen Tianhui, the biggest executive in charge of Huanya Company, actually endured it? Chen Tianhui looked at Chen Shen, feeling troubled and unable to express his feelings. He just called Chen Shen to give in and pick him up in person in the afternoon. Chen Tianhui felt that with Chen Shen's intelligence, he would definitely be able to hear what he meant. He wanted to help him in the open, but he didn't comfort him. If this matter cannot be suppressed, there will really be a falling out. It's a loss for Chen Shen and the company. Chen Shen was also looking at Chen Tianhui and asked directly, where is Zhang Ying? Many people looked at each other, but Mr. Chen endured it, and Chen Shen still wanted to stir up trouble. Is he such a brave person? Just for a moment, a lot of people gathered around the corridor. This is the office area of the Artist Economics Department. Many people from other office areas heard the noise and came. Chen Tianhui whispered, Chen Shen, if you have any questions, go to my office and talk. Chen Shen repeated, where is Zhang Ying? Wang Ziwen interjected, it's too much. You just start acting wildly at the first sign of fire, right? Let me tell you, Zhang Ying was fired. What? Can't bear to leave. Chen Tianhui said loudly, is it a vegetable market? Are you the only ones talking too much? Chen Shen, follow me to the office. Chen Shen didn't move. Who fired him? Chen Tianhui was about to step forward. He was about to pull Chen Shen into the office. However, a voice suddenly sounded from the other side of the corridor, I fired you. Chen Tianhui turned around and sighed. This was what he was afraid of. There are 4 members on the board of directors of Huanya Media. One is from Yanjing, one is from Shanghai, and then there are Zhao Jingquan and his son, Zhao Jingquan, the chairman of Huanyu. The person who came was called Zhao Ziyazai, the son of Zhao Jingquan, 29 years old, and the 4th director of Huanyu Media. Zhao Ziyazai is very thin, not very tall, about 1.7 meters tall, and has the same gloomy look. Throwing a cup in Huanyu's public office area was equivalent to slapping him in the face. Who are you? Chen Shen asked deliberately. He had already figured out what Huanyu's 4 directors were. Zhao Ziyazai smiled instead of getting angry. Who am I? You don't even know who I am, yet you still dare to throw things. Chen Tianhui quickly introduced, Chen Shen, this is our director Zhao. Since there is a misunderstanding, let's sit down and have a good chat. Let's talk. On my first day at work, someone was trying to show off to me. They arranged a project. I acted seriously, but then they took it away indiscriminately. Now even the assistant has been fired. What are you talking about? Chen Shen asked Road. After Zhao Ziyazai arrived, many people who stood up sat down. For them, this scene was both embarrassing and exciting. It would not be an exaggeration to say that it was a once-in-a-century experience. People who don't like eating melons frowned when they heard what Chen Shen said. Some people who eat things rationally sigh. Can Chen Shen really be blamed for this? Zhao Ziyazai sarcastically said, so, you think you are absolutely right. Chen Shen looked over and said, I scolded Wang Ziwen. She deserves to be scolded for using her professional qualifications to pressure others. To be honest, on the first day I came to report, I felt that the joy was nothing more than this. Ask Che Ji about the Jinyi project. Does Lai Che director have any objections to me? It's him, Pu Bin, who can't even remember his lines. Zhang Ying, a member of my team, earns her salary and works with me. Who do you think is better if you fire her? This passage was like a huge boulder falling into a pool of water and exploding. Several people's expressions changed. Wang Ziwen was still gloating at first, but now she started to grit her teeth. Chen Tianhui kept shaking his head, basically feeling cold. There was no room to go back on this matter. Zhao Ziazai was so angry that he was shaking. He had never met someone like Chen Shen in his whole life. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 173. Zhao Ziazai didn't react for a moment. Chen Shen was not polite at all, and mocked again, don't say it's you, even if your father came, I would say these words. Don't you know what Huanyu has been like in the past few years? It's submissive to the outside world, but it's a heavy punch inside, right? What have you done for the company, Zhao Ziazai? Which of the several movies you invested in made money? Why are you pretending to be a big shot? Come, I'm standing here, giving you a chance, how do you deal with this? Can you handle emergency incidents? Call the police? Who did I do it to? Or did I damage public property? Or did I damage the company's reputation? Sorry, the company has also damaged my reputation. I'm here to argue. I'm not tight-lipped. Can you bear it if these things are exposed? Let's try to sue for fun, or do you want to tell me the facts and reason? The key is whether you understand the facts and reason. A series of aggressive questions stunned the onlookers. More than brave, it's simply fierce, with amazing fighting power. Zhao Ziazai gritted his teeth in anger. He looked at Chen Tianhui, who lowered his head. At this moment, Chen Tianhui was afraid that Chen Shen would turn his spearhead against him. Some things cannot be said. It will be ugly if you say them out, and it will be difficult to do future work. Chen Shen is not afraid, but Chen Tianhui is afraid. Most people dare not say it either. Chen Tianhui feels that he did not know Chen Shen at all before. Is he a troublemaker? He is simply a devil. Zhao Ziazai had to speak for himself, and he cursed, you are awesome, let's try it. I'll put it here. If you can make it in this circle, I will eat 10 pounds of shit in front of you. Chen Shen sneered, learn to talk like a child. Zhao Ziazai glared, security, where is the security? You are so angry that you call the security. Chen Shen stood up, don't bother you, Uncle Zhang, let's go. Zhang Benrui's face flushed, but he followed Chen Shen closely. Passing by Xiao Zhang who was sweeping the garbage, Chen Shen even said thank you, which made Xiao Zhang scratch his head. The security guard came and looked at Zhao Ziazai. Chen Shen walked up to Zhao Ziazai, are you going to touch me? Chen Tianhui hurriedly stood between the two and said helplessly, Chen Shen, you should say less. Zhao Ziazai suppressed his anger, I'm targeting you, and you will pay the price for what you are doing at this moment. Chen Shen smiled, not too stupid. This is not private, now there are hundreds of people watching, maybe someone is secretly recording. If Zhao Ziazai really dares to do it, Huanyu will be dead, and there will be no need for subsequent measures. Is Chen Shen afraid that the video will be released? It's what he wants. If there is a commotion in the company, the biggest impact will only be on the company, especially the listed company. The security guard did not follow Chen Shen downstairs, and Chen Tianhui hurriedly walked towards some people who had taken action before, he had to clean up his ass. If this matter is exposed, his scalp will numb. Why didn't Chen Tianhui take action? Because Chen Shen pointed all the conflicts to Zhao Ziyazai. Chen Tianhui thought back, if Zhao Ziyazai hadn't come, would Chen Shen have embarrassed himself like this in front of everyone? Zhao Ziyazai said loudly, from today on, Chen Shen's contract is sealed. If he takes any project, we will go through legal procedures directly. We will not only sue him, but also sue the people who took the project for him. I will make him angry. If he makes a penny, I will lose. Another harsh word, and then left. After Zhao Ziyazai left, the office was rumbling with discussions. Wang Ziwen leaned back in the chair, looking unnatural. She looked at Chen Tianhui and whispered, "Mr. Chen." Chen Tianhui ignored her. Is he afraid now? The matter has become a big deal, and the more powerful people have lost their face. It started because of you. Who can you blame? Chen Tianhui shook his head. This matter can't be thought about in retrospect. Thinking back, he also has problems. Who knew Chen Shen was so fierce? Now that the matter has escalated, he can't make the decision. He has to let the boss come back to deal with it. Thursday morning, it was already the third day since I came back from Huanyu. Chen Shen and Su Mo sat next to each other in the VIP cafe on the fourth floor of Yuhan Hotel, with two laptops in front of them. Su Mo was showing Chen Shen the decoration design drawings of the first batch of stores, which had started construction a week ago. Refitting is not redecoration, and it only takes about half a month. Next Monday, this is the test store that will open. Yes, it is the number one store. I asked someone to develop this management system. From the management account, you can see the current data of each store, and you can cut into the store's camera at any time, and see the specific situation of each store from the management account. Su Mo pointed to the computer and introduced it to Chen Shen. Chen Shen nodded, very professional and convenient. Su Mo smiled and said, a customized system must be professional. Hey, what's wrong with you? Didn't you go to film? How can you accompany me to play every day? I finished filming. Did I play badly? Chen Shen said as he turned his computer to Su Mo. He was writing a script. Although he didn't write a few words in the morning, this thing is called work. Su Mo smiled but said nothing. She didn't know whether Chen Shen was giving up or not, but he was giving up a bit these past 2 days. He was supposed to go on a business trip to Shudu, but he didn't go. They worked out together. In the morning, they each took their computers to do their own things. In the afternoon, Su Mo took Chen Shen to a meeting with the catering team they had set up. They confirmed the dishes, soup base, decoration style, staffing, etc. Chen Shen could write songs and scripts, and he was particularly sensitive to the catering industry. He gave many suggestions on the dishes, most of which were useful. Su Mo was happy. The new industry had landed, and there was great hope for success. I am in such a hurry to decorate because I want to catch up with the popularity of the romance drama. Are you stressed? Chen Shen asked Su Mo. Su Mo shook his head and then looked at Chen Shen. No, my family is very open-minded. They just criticized me openly and secretly, saying that this is wrong and that is wrong. Chen Shen burst out laughing. Chen Shen asked Su Mo if he was under any pressure. He was indeed asking about Lianzong. The wolf is too weak, Xiaoqing I failed again, and now the most discussed person on the internet is Su Mo. With Su Mo's size and connections, it is not difficult to overcome the popularity. Let it develop because the heat will help the cause. Did you read it? Su Mo asked Chen Shen. Chen Shen shook his head. I didn't read it either. So many people on the internet said that Fang Ye and I had a lot of contact with him at the beginning. Su Mo frowned. Chen Shen curled his lips. A fool is lucky because he took advantage of you. Su Mo pursed her lips, then turned her head and looked away, with a nice curve at the corner of her mouth. On the table, Chen Shen's cell phone vibrated. Chen Shen picked it up and looked at it. then stood up. Su Mo turned back to look at Chen Shen, squinting her eyes, deliberately avoiding herself. Right? There was no one in the VIP area. Chen Shen walked a few steps away before answering the phone. Director Zhao, what's the good news? Zhao Chunshen's voice rang from the phone. I'm in Pengcheng. I just came downstairs from Penguin Video's headquarters. I had a good chat with the boss of their project department about you, and I also played your 2 songs to him. If tomorrow's after the second episode was aired, the popularity was as high as the first episode, so he was willing to go to Yezhou. I asked about it, and it seemed that Huan Yu's boss was coming back soon. Chen Shen smiled and said, it's really no need to trouble, I can handle Huan Yu myself. Zhao Chunshen, what a fool. Zhou Gaikan told me that you were showing off your power in Huan Yu, pointing at Zhao Ziyazai's face and cursing people. Zhao Ziyazai said in front of hundreds of employees that he would ban you. Hey, this is the same thing. I didn't think carefully. At that time, I thought that signing Huan Yu could check and balance Yuan Media behind Xiaoqing II. As a result, Yuan didn't care about the direction of program creation, and now Huan Yu has started acting like a monster. Chen Shen, thank you. Zhao Chunshen's voice was filled with a smile. Thank you, you are also my noble person. I really didn't expect that our show is so popular and the entertainment industry is so big. Why do you always meet blind companies? Chen Shen, how do I know that my fate is not good? What the hell, can't you bring your cleverness in Lianzong to the company? If there are no girls that are interested in you, then you'll be useless. Director Zhao, don't talk nonsense. Forget it, I won't mess with you anymore, I'm done. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 174. Chen Shen came back and found Su Mo looking at his computer. Nirvana in Fire has been completed, but it is not enough. Chen Shen's plan for Huan Yu's subsequent rise is to produce at least 2 anti-war dramas a year, especially in the first year. According to Chen Shen's plan, he will naturally not find any new people, but choose the largest traffic and the most professional team to work on it. The director is reliable and he is more afraid of failure than you are. What if the car rolls over? Don't be afraid, you can make money from the project if it is good, and you can make money from stocks if the interest rate difference is good. The most indispensable thing in the capital market is leaks. Did you write this for yourself? Su Mo asked. Dear, Beloved is a book that Chen Shen started to write slowly yesterday. Chen Shen sat down, shook his head and said, is it appropriate? Should I play the male lead in an idol drama? Su Mo burst out laughing. This is true. Don't look at the people on the internet now saying that wolves are weak. I will try it in a few episodes. I hope the audience will be more receptive. When Chen Shen stopped acting, Su Mo pushed the computer back and she was relieved. This question has several meanings. Su Mo is an outsider and cannot judge the quality of the script at the moment, but if Chen Shen writes it and Chen Shen plays it, the popularity will not be low. Su Mo was afraid that if Chen Shen played the role himself, it would become a business of popularity. What kind of heroine would he need to be popular? All fools know that they need to match Xiaoqing II. Chen Shen said he didn't want to act, so Su Mo didn't say anything further. Even if the call just now came from Xiaoqing II, it doesn't matter. After Su Mo fell deeply in love with Chen, among the guests in Lianzong, Xiaoqing II was more concerned about. Girls like Xiaoqing II are indeed very attractive to men. Su Mo pursed her lips and smiled inadvertently, but she was not bad at all. Even in the field that Xiaoqing II was good at, she still managed a large area of discussion. Regardless of the popularity, it is indeed for business. However, from the first episode to now, how many people are still discussing Seoking II? At most, mention it once. This is still Seoking II's strong area, but no one has noticed this, including Chen Shen. There is no need to worry about Seoking II and Su Mo outside this field. Where are Su Yuan and Mian Mian? All have strong limitations. A question about sincerity or not is enough for Su Yuan to cross for a while. Does Su Yuan not care about being deceived by Chen Shen? Impossible. Chen Shen was so concerned about Su Yuan in the later period that he even prepared a song for her. In Su Mo's opinion, this was actually the shining point of Su Yuan's character. If Su Yuan didn't care about being deceived by Chen Shen, then she didn't care about feelings, and Chen Shen wouldn't write songs for her. This is an advantage, but it also has a gap that cannot be circumvented. The limitations of human nature have not been overcome by being together day and night, and it will only become more difficult under the relationship. Mian Mian's side is actually difficult. It's not that Mian Mian is strong, but that Su Mo feels that she will most likely have to be soft-hearted when facing Mian Mian. But this is also very simple. In a passive environment, she and Chen Shen have no time and space to interact. Unless Chen Shen takes the initiative to find Mian Mian. With so many things going on right now, does Chen Shen still have the energy to take care of Mian Mian? Su Mo felt it was unrealistic. Regarding love, it is easy if you don't take it seriously, but it is the most difficult question in the world if you take it seriously. Su Mo's outlook on love is a bit like an upgraded version of her outlook on career. She can think of everything and see everything, and Su Mo can still be enthusiastic about it. This is her confidence and her own outlook on life. Huanyu is a very interesting company. On the surface, it looks like a big company with a lot of self-made projects and connections with major TV stations. However, after signing the contract, it started to be sucked by the company. Su Mo changed the topic and talked about Huanyu Media. On the body. Chen Shen smiled. Yang Qingqing was the best example. Happy to sign the contract. Where is the first sister? Don't all the resources belong to her? The results of it? Always bringing up the old and bringing up the new. I suddenly brought up Zhang Shidi. Even though Yan Jiachao is very good now, he was also brought up by others. Many artists in the circle have suffered from Huanyu. Stop studying the entertainment industry, you are busy enough. Su Mo didn't take it seriously. Are you busy? In fact, it's not bad. The main reason is that I don't worry about publicity. Just putting up airs is not really busy. It's not as much as the electrical appliance industry to worry about. When Su Mo invested in catering, no one in the family was optimistic about it. Chen Hotpot was about to collapse, and some people were second-guessing it, saying that they had already said that catering was a big pit and they didn't believe in evil. Maybe it was because of some luck that I met Chen Shen, and things got smoother and smoother. Afraid I'll delay things. I'm afraid you'll be too tired. Chen Shen didn't tell Su Mo about his quarrel with Huanyu. Su Mo's energy was now focused on Chen's hotpot, and she didn't need to be distracted. An investor was worrying about it, and Chen Shen was ashamed of his father. On Friday afternoon, Seoking II returned to the company. Chen Shen gave her 2 songs and went to other places to shoot the MV these days. As soon as he returned to the company, Seoking II went straight to Shen Halen's office. The door of the office was pushed open. Shen Halen looked up and saw Seoking II, and a smile appeared on her face. Why are you running to me without rest? Shen Halen asked with a smile. Xiaoqing walked around the desk and came to Shen Halen. What does Huanyu want to do? If Chen Shen's role is really taken away, Zhao Ziazai is said to want to ban him. Shen Halen looked at Seoking II and said nothing. Seoking II and Shen Halen looked at each other, and straightened out their slightly curved chest. What's wrong? They wrote 2 songs for me, can I care about it? Shen Halen crossed his arms and shook his head. You are not bold when you should be bold. Xiaoqing was discouraged and leaned on the desk. Only then did Shen Halen laugh out loud. Go and ask Chen Shen directly. Why are you asking me? I asked, but he didn't say anything. He just said it was okay and told me not to worry. It was so annoying. Shen Halen pondered. Yu Wen and Huan Yu faced each other across the river. Although they were rivals, they were familiar with each other. What news couldn't spread across the river? The key is that Shen Halen doesn't understand. As a result of Lian's own, Chen Shen won despite his huge disadvantage. Why was it so awkward to go to Huan Yu? Could Chen Shen be stupid? Shen Halen glanced at Xiaoqing Ai, feeling unhappy that the little baby she had cultivated was about to be seduced away. Happy silly? After fighting overtly and covertly for so many years, why can't they live a good life? Neither of them are stupid, but something bad happened to both parties, which is weird. Shen Halen sighed. If he doesn't tell you, don't ask. He may be afraid of affecting you. Don't worry, Chen Shen will be fine. There is also Penguin Video. Now that love lesson is so popular, they will keep Chen Shen safe deep. Xiaoqing Ai came closer. Sister Lan, do you think Chen Shen is valuable? What do you mean? Xiaoqing Ai chuckled and said, in that case, how about we snatch it over? Look, you said that Penguin Video will protect him. It must be because Chen Shen's value is great. They think they can make money by protecting Chen Shen. Penguin Video Bien Duo is smart, they are all big guys, so why can't we protect him? We can't afford the penalty. If we protect Chen Shen, we can not only make money, but also attack Huan Yu Media. Kill two birds with one stone, right? Shen Halen was still listening carefully at first, but the more he listened, the more he felt something was wrong, and said angrily, in an S-level contract, the liquidated damages are at least 5 or 8 figures. Xiaoqing nodded, I know, but he is worth it, don't you think so? Shen Halen glared and said, do you think I am the boss? You didn't sign it when you signed it, and now you have to pay liquidated damages? Do you still want my face? Xiaoqing pouted and left with a disappointed expression. Shen Halen frowned. What's his expression? Despised. When she walked to the door, Xiaoqing turned around and said, Sister Lan, I think it's okay. Why don't you go talk to the boss? Shen Halen was so angry that she laughed. Go, go, go. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 175. Xiaoqing Ai's house is not far from the company. She debuted as the center in the girl group audition that year, which was a reward from the company. She has never moved to a new house and has not lived there much. The filming ended in the afternoon, and then she took a plane back to Yuzhou, and then went to the company. She was very tired after a day of running around. She took a shower when she came back, and then took a short nap. When she opened her eyes, it was dark. The house was also dark, and she could only look at her bedroom with the help of a little light from the window. This feeling of waking up to the night was very trance, and instinctively felt a little unhappy. Reaching for her phone, Xiaoqing Ai inexplicably found Chen Shen's WeChat. I woke up, it's so dark. After a while, Chen Shen's voice call popped up. Why are you sleeping so early? As soon as the call was connected, it was a familiar voice. Xiaoqing Ai's face was a little smiling. What do you care about me? Go turn on the light, I'm talking to you, don't be afraid. Xiaoqing Ai was stunned, then suddenly lifted the quilt to cover herself, and began to hum. What's that sound? You're not going to stay in bed again, are you? Don't sleep. You won't be able to sleep at night. Xiaoqing threw back the quilt. I'm not afraid. She got out of bed with her phone, turned around, and then left the bedroom. She not only turned on the lights in the living room, but also the lights in the kitchen. I'm telling you, I'm very brave. I've lived alone for several years. I dare to watch a horror movie alone. Go ahead and get busy. Xiaoqing stayed in the kitchen and opened the refrigerator. Okay, if you're not afraid, I underestimated you. Haha, then I'll hang up. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Xiaoqing started to choose what to eat in the evening. There was almost no fresh food in her refrigerator, all of which were packaged food, such as various noodles with a shelf life of only half a month, and snail noodles. Open a bag, use a small pot, and it's done for a meal. When I'm unhappy, I don't want to do anything, but when I'm happy, I'm very energetic. Cook the noodles, bring them to the dining table, and bring a tablet over. 9 o'clock, just the right time. Click on Penguin Video, and you'll see the second episode of the love show. The second episode is online, with the theme of first date, divided into 2 episodes, and the first episode is more than 70 minutes. There were a lot of ads at the beginning, and Xiaoqing pulled directly to the scene with the villa, then thought about it and pulled it back. What she wanted to see most was what happened in the villa when she was not there, but now she also wanted to see the whole thing. The observation room was still the same guests, Xiaoqing doubled it, the atmosphere was very good, and when the music started to warm up, a few conspicuous people jumped and shouted. The barrage was dense, most of them were thanking Penguin Video, this length was too sincere. There were also many people who came for the artist guests, and there were many names of artist guests on the barrage. After Lin Tong gave a small summary, the scene was given to the villa. The first shot was given to Fang Ye, who opened the door of the villa with vegetables. On the second day of the love show, Fang Ye and Su Mo cooked together. In the barrage, many people were talking about the sincere CP. After a week of fermentation, the popularity is high and the number of people watching is also large. Not to mention the sincere CP, Chen Shen and Su Mian were made into a so-called wolf goat CP by the audience. There are still people who like this, and there are many key points. Xiaoqing I shook his head when he saw it, and he didn't understand the logic of these people. Sister Mo and brother Ye get along very politely. In their eyes, it is another kind of reliable pink bubble, which seems to have become an ideal state of getting along. What about Chen Shen and Su Mian? In their eyes, they have imagined a dramatic idol drama. Some people are serious and posted a long article on Weibo, saying that Chen Shen will definitely be taken down by Mian in the end, giving up 1 million and choosing the little sheep. This is how idol dramas are played. Cooking is normal cooking, the sincere CP on the full screen, and the voiceover in the observation room is also saying that this mode of getting along is not bad, etc. Xiaoqing I found it interesting because they talked about who would wash the dishes after dinner. Su Yuan was the first to stand up and say that she would wash the dishes today, and ask the cook not to move. Then Chen Shen immediately said that you guys should go and rest, and he and Su Yuan would wash them. Xiaoqing shook her head, so mean. She could understand the logic of Chen Shen's actions. From the beginning, his main target was Su Yuan. The camera was given to Zhou Gaikan. Logically, Zhou Gaikan should have reacted. Yesterday, he and Su Yuan cooked together. In the content just now, Zhou Gaikan seemed to be worried, and Su Yuan comforted him. Now Chen Shen wants to wash the dishes with Su Yuan, but he is not moved. Chen Shen and Su Yuan went to the kitchen, and Zhou Gaikan moved. Under the camera, he looked at Su Mian. After holding back for several times, he finally said, "How about we go out for a walk?" Su Mo replied, "Okay." Fang Ye got up and walked out directly, but Su Mian did not move. After walking a few steps, Fang Ye looked at Zhou Gaikan, "Let's go. You asked me to go out for a walk, and I have already walked to the door, why don't you move?" Zhou Gaikan spoke up, Mian isn't going." Under the camera, Su Mian looked outside, then looked at the kitchen, and shook her head. I'm not going, I want to read. Joe Gaiken's expression immediately became unnatural. Ha ha ha, you kid, I knew it. UN is so nice, I was just comforting you, don't you understand the occasion at all? Yesterday, Mian was going to cook with Chen Shen. So dramatic, Xiaozhou likes Mian. Mian likes Chen Shen? Chen Shen likes UN? UN likes Xiaozhou? First impressions are a waste of time. If you ask me, now that all three couples are ready, just show some sweets. Didn't you notice one thing? Mian hasn't looked at other boys yet. Although Yuan's heart is on Xiaozhou, Chen Shen has already started to act. You're overthinking it. What if Xiaozhou really impresses Mian? How can Chen Shen be so sure to keep Mian? Haha, a typical conspiracy theory. It's better to feel sorry for the big bad wolf. It's really a bit weak. No way, there are really people who think Chen Shen can complete the task. Hey, Chen Shen gets along with Yuan, and it's Yuan who takes the initiative to talk. What the hell, can you make it stronger for us viewers who don't like sweets? Xia Qing'ai took a few photos with her phone and sent them to Chen Shen. It's okay for the fans of the love variety show who like sweets, they are all eating CP, but the setting of this show has attracted many fans who don't watch love variety shows. They are all complaining that the wolf is too weak, asking the wolf to be stronger, or let them do it if it doesn't work. Xiaoqing sent these comments to Chen Shen, and then left. Chen Shen and Su Yuan came out after washing the dishes and saw Zhou Gaiken and Su Mian sitting on the sofa. Su Mian did not go to the yard, but sat on the sofa reading a book. Zhou Gaiken went out at the beginning, and saw Su Mo and Fang Ye came in again, looking like a light bulb. The comments were all ha ha ha. The moment Su Mian saw Chen Shen, she closed the book and looked at it from a god's perspective. Su Mian was very uncomfortable being alone with Zhou Gaiken. She sat on the sofa and read a book in a proper manner, with her head down all the time. The moment Chen Shen sat down, Su Mian asked Chen Shen, "Do you want to go out for a walk?" Gauze. Xiaozhou, now you understand. Look at Yuan, you two are a good match, really. I am dying of laughter. Xiaozhou, Mian, aren't you going? Mian, I want to read a book, haha, I really want to watch Big Bad Wolf and Little Lamb is so brave. The observation room was also laughing, and the emotional writer Jinan said, it's still the same question as yesterday. Xiaozhou does have a good impression of Mian, but he hasn't found a way to get along with Mian. The closer he gets to Mian, the more he pushes Mian towards Chen Shen. Hearing the expert's interpretation, the barrage became even happier, and many people were posting big injustice. The closer you get, the more you push the girl you like towards your competitor. The camera was given to the outside. Zhou Gaiken was a little absent-minded, but after Su Yuan praised him a few words, he seemed to recover and started chatting with Su Yuan. The three pairs are really locked, let's just treat it as a normal love variety show, it's a pity for the setting. Xiaozhou finally started to look back, his letter was delivered to Yuan's mailbox. It's also good, Chen Shen and Mian went to the supermarket alone, which is good, really, I can't stand people maliciously sabotaging it anyway. Yes, this is a love variety show, not a suspense show, you should watch a suspense film to see the show effect. It's really good, don't do it, Chen Shen, please, just be a wolf eating grass quietly, and treat Mian well. There were some arguments on the barrage, and fans of the two categories had some disputes. Xia Qing'ai sighed, in fact, everything was fine up to this point. But some signs can be seen, the setting fans expect something different, but the CP fans are slowly adapting to the rhythm of the love variety show. The setting fans may be able to accept the later content, but what about the CP fans? Chen Shen can't avoid being scolded. The next day, the mailbox information did not create suspense. It was directly released in accordance with the rhythm of the program, and the footage of everyone posting in the mailbox was played. Some footage of each dormitory was also shown. After 2 days of getting along, everyone gradually became familiar with each other, and there was communication. The atmosphere was good, especially Chen Shen and Fang Ye. Chen Shen was still joking about Fang Ye, asking him if he came for Su Mo. The next day, the camera was directly given to Chen Shen. He went downstairs at 6 o'clock. He took the letter and walked forward a few steps to see Su Mo. Su Mo sat at the dining table with great temperament. Hearing the movement, she looked at Chen Shen. The two smiled at each other. The audience thought Chen Shen would be stage fright, but he was not. He even talked and laughed and helped Su Mo get the bread she baked. Sitting opposite each other, Chen Shen found an excuse to go upstairs after chatting for a few words. Then he called Fang Ye up. That's really nice. You two just started chatting last night, and now you're helping like this. That's great. I like Chen Shen a little bit, whether he's the big bad wolf or not, this behavior really adds points. Ha ha ha, good brother, really good brother. No, buddy, you're a wolf, your mission is to break up all the guests, why are you still helping, brother? Chen Shen, did you forget something? The barrage suddenly increased, CP fans actually began to agree with Chen Shen, and the setting fans were very disappointed and complained. After Fang Ye went downstairs, he started to make sandwiches for Su Mo and Chen Shen. He also winked at Chen Shen, looking like he really enjoyed it. Chen Shen began to ask questions. Sister Mo, I remember you are not from Yuzhou, have you invested in any projects here? In the previous chat and laughter, Chen Shen told Su Mo that he had introduced her to her by his brother, and her career was full of highlights. With these exchanges as a foundation, Su Mo naturally replied, yes, but my trip to Yuzhou may be a stain on my career. Chen Shen, ah. So serious? Fang Ye took the opportunity to answer, is it the investment from Chen Hotpot? Chen Shen lowered his head and began to drink coffee. On the barrage, many people wrote I'm crying to death. Not only did they call Fang Ye to create opportunities for them, but they also took the initiative to find topics for the two to chat. If this is not a good brother, what is it? The main reason is that it was too obvious. After Fang Ye and Su Mo started chatting, Chen Shen shut up and returned to his silent appearance, listening quietly. Some words were replaced by BB sounds. There were text prompts on the video, which were blocked because they involved commercial content. The barrage began to laugh, saying that the chat between big men was extraordinary. The content of the villa ended here, and the cameras switched to the observation room. The guests in the observation room watched very seriously, and several people had smiles on their faces. The cameras suddenly turned over, and several people didn't react. Lin Tong started talking before taking off the headphones. Lin Tong's face was quite serious. There is some off-site information, I may need to add it now, because this is not a traditional love variety show, it is a social experiment variety show. What do you mean? Yu Zhongqian on the left was confused. Lin Tong smiled again, don't be nervous, this is something the program team has discussed for a long time. The main thing is that it is not a secret. After the show is broadcast, the audience can find it out. Instead of causing misunderstandings at that time, it is better for us to make it clear in the show first. This also solicited the opinions of the parties involved in the show, and they all agreed. Ji Nandu began to scratch his head, tell me, Teacher Lin, what information is it? Lin Tong, Chen Shen's last name is Chen, right? Yes, then what? Lin Tong, what is the name of the company that Fang Ye and Su Mo discussed just now? Others were still confused. Ling Yanhui suddenly glared, and then slapped his thigh with a snap. Teacher Lin, are you saying that Chen Shen's family makes hot pot? Lin Tong, yes, the program team really didn't know about this at the beginning. Director, you should explain it. The amount of information was huge, and several guests stood up. They were processing this off-site information, which meant that Su Mo came to Yuzhou because the company she invested in had problems, and the company she invested in was Chen Shen's company. Not to mention the scene, the entire barrage was full of question marks. The camera was turned to Zhao Chunsheng, who was quite serious in front of the camera. Yes, we chose to talk about it in this segment because we were really afraid of misunderstandings after the show was broadcast. I chose Chen Shen from more than 20 profiles. He is the only guest who meets all my requirements. For a love variety show, being handsome is a necessary condition. In addition, because of the special nature of the task, you can't be stage frightened. It's best to choose someone from the entertainment industry who has never been exposed in front of the camera. Just treat it as a script, at least there is this concept. In addition, it is a very realistic problem. If someone who has not had a lot of wealth does this task, there will be a lot of uncertainty, which may not be a good thing for him. So, we chose Chen Shen. His family makes hot pot, which is the Chen hot pot that Su Mo just said she invested in. Don't be surprised. We were also surprised when we knew about it. Let me clarify that this is really not an advertisement. Chen hot pot has basically closed down and you won't see this brand in the future. Then Su Mo said Zhao Chunsheng himself was amused by this. When I first received Su Mo's resume, I was surprised for a long time. How could Su Mo come to our show? Is there such a good thing? I am just an ordinary little director. I called her several times to confirm. It was indeed her own wish to come, but she just said that she was not sure whether she had the time, and I didn't take it seriously. There was no subsequent contact. I couldn't make any efforts for such things, but on the third to last day before the shooting, Su Mo suddenly called me and said that she could come, and then there was the matter of Su Mo appearing on the Love Variety show. Ling Yanhui took a few steps forward and said in disbelief, "So, this is a coincidence." Good guy, that is to say, we don't know, the program team doesn't know, and they don't know in the Love Variety show. Puh, there is such a fate. Oh my god, I have goosebumps. The observation room was in a mess. Most of the comments were question marks. Some people began to digest this information, and then the full screen was full of hum. When recording this episode, Zhao Chunsheng did hesitate for a long time. If the show didn't make it clear, someone would say that the show crew set up a trap for Su Mo, and that would be a disaster. Besides, as the show airs, Chen Shen's identity will definitely be exposed. Rather than being exposed, it's better to make it clear on the show. In addition, Su Mo was under some pressure. She didn't object to ending the show with a relatively disadvantaged image, but the show crew had to keep the part about hot pot. Under all circumstances, Zhao Chunsheng chose to make it clear on the show himself. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 176. The observation room was in an exaggerated mess. The most rational emotional writer also stood up and doubted his life. The fact that the wolf was weak was almost a consensus among everyone, but it was difficult for the observation room to say this. It was a very realistic relationship. How could a person who promoted small noodles be better than the big guys? Now the program team suddenly told you that he was a rich second generation, and he was indeed promoting small noodles, but it was just his own brand. On the barrage, among the dense hum, various sighs began to be mixed. Wait for me to sort it out. I'll pause first, my CPU can't seem to keep up. It's interesting, it's finally interesting, I said. If this setting is purely about love, it's a real waste of material. Then when Chen Shen talked to Brother Ye about Sister Mo last night, did he already know Sister Mo's identity? Damn, This idiot must know, look at him now, he seems to be eating, but he's actually listening so seriously. No, I'll go to Weibo to eat the Chen hotpot melon first and then watch it. Warm reminder, the last self-introduction, Sister Mo said she was from an investment institution, and Chen Shen asked which investment institution it was. Huh, I saw someone watched the previous episode, I'll go check it out. Damn, I still feel sorry for this bastard, he was just pretending. In the first episode he did ask which investment institution Sister Mo was from, I remember. So, the director was actually wrong, Chen Shen was the only one who knew about this in advance. Oh my god, he's not messing with the script in the show, is he? Xiaoqing curled her lips, then turned down the volume of the barrage. The observation room was doubting life in various ways, and then began to analyze forward. Sister Mo has this relationship with him. Xiaoqing I really didn't know about this. When she appeared in the love variety show, Chen Shen and the three were already very good. Su Mo is an investor, Xiaoqing I knew this, and later she also knew that Chen Shen's family made hot pot, but she didn't know that the two were still fighting outside the field. There was a time when I was really puzzled. It was reasonable for a silly girl like Mian to come to me on her own. Zhou Gaikan did assist and kept forcing Mian to Chen Shen. Su Yuan was deceived by Chen Shen, which was also reasonable. What did Sister Mo want? Now I understand a little bit. They have interests. For Chen Shen, Xiaoqing I is not so entangled and hypocritical. If she is interested, she is interested. It's just that both of them are very busy at present. It's hard to balance how to get along with each other if they really break through the relationship. Chen Shen gave me 2 songs of such high quality. How can I face him if I can't do it well? He and Huanyu are also arguing, which makes Xiaoqing I more urgent. Chen Shen needs more weight, not verbal comfort. He is not a child. For example, Xiaoqing I hung up the phone on her own initiative before. She is not clingy. Speaking of the other 3 female guests of the love variety show, who does Xiaoqing I care about more? Su Yuan. After she and Chen Shen have been getting along with each other, why does Chen Shen care more and more about her? From Xiaoqing I's perspective, Chen Shen didn't want to owe her anything. When she ignored Fang Ye and went on a date with him, she was actually tying her future to Chen Shen. Chen Shen still chose his own way, not his win-win approach. From that time on, Chen Shen began to care about her. Xiaoqing I felt that Chen Shen had a rare quality, that is, if you give to me, I must give it back to you. In comparison, who has given the most in this regard? It is undoubtedly Su Yuan, but Chen Shen has been lying to Su Yuan the whole time. Xiaoqing I and Su Mo have completely different thoughts on this point. Su Mo thinks that the gap between Su Yuan and Chen Shen is blocking Su Yuan, while Xiaoqing I thinks that the gap between Chen Shen and Su Yuan is blocking Chen Shen. Thinking of this, Xiaoqing I sighed, and she had no better way to avoid it. I just hope Su Yuan will fight back. People have lied to you so much, so you won't be shameless and stick to others, right? As for Su Mo, Xiaoqing I thinks that she and Chen Shen are not in a relationship between men and women. Xiaoqing I felt that Su Mo was at the level of the boss of Yuan Media. Would such a person compete with others for men in a dating variety show simply because of feelings? It would make people laugh if they told others about it. Only the trend of interests would work. Such people generally focus on their careers. Then what about Mian? Xiaoqing I smiled. Mian was a good person and had some personality, but she was a bit of a rookie in terms of feelings. Compared with Su Yuan and Su Mo, she was not to be feared. The most important person was Su Yuan, but Xiaoqing I was not afraid. She found Su Yuan's accounts on Xiaohongshu and Douyin. After the first episode was broadcast, Su Yuan was the only one among the other 3 female guests who was playing social media. It was easy to find her. In the past few days, Su Yuan has gained tens of thousands of fans. Her IP address can be seen. She is not in Yuzhou. Judging from the content of the video, she went to Dali with her bestie. After the guests in the observation room finished their BB, Xiaoqing Ai came back to his senses. On the screen, Su Mo walked to the restaurant door in a casual manner, then turned back to look at Chen Shen. Chen Shen, aren't you going to squeeze into the subway? I'll give you a choice, take my car or take Brother Nai's car. At this point in the scene, someone in the observation room pouted, and then they all left. On the barrage, no one started it, the whole screen was full of no. During this period, many people really watched the first episode again. Chen Shen did ask Su Mo which investment institution she was from, plus the discussion with Fang Ye last night and the information just revealed. Chen Shen must know that Su Mo is the one who invested in his hot pot. At this time, Chen Shen really has a bit of wolf flavor. Fang Ye looked at Chen Shen in surprise. You still want to squeeze into the subway? Chen Shen looked at Su Mo. No, squeezing into the subway is also good. The barrage exploded. It's careless, really, if I don't know the off-site information, just this picture, I feel sorry for him. He is really pretending. I don't believe that his family doesn't have a car. I have checked, Chen Hot Pot had branches in Hong Kong during its peak period. Let me put it this way, I found out from Baidu, Chen Hot Pot was selected as one of the top 10 catering brands in China, but it is just lonely now. You bastard, who said that wolves are weak? The barrage was dense and even more exaggerated than the first episode, and they haven't reacted yet. On the screen, Fang Ye hurriedly winked at Chen Shen, then looked at Su Mo, and said like an elder brother, you take him, I'm going out late. There are still question marks on the barrage. It's over, it's over. Brother Ye really treats Chen Shen as a good brother. After all, in Brother Ye's eyes, Chen Shen just assisted him. Although I understand Brother Ye's logic, in his opinion, the more familiar Chen Shen is with Su Mo, the more advantages he has, but this dog is a wolf. So exciting. I'm excited, really, isn't this better than a sweet love? Woo woo woo, don't touch my sincere CP. Under the camera, Chen Shen hesitated, Fang Ye was still urging, go quickly, your sister Mo is waiting for you. Chen Shen shrugged helplessly, and then followed Su Mo out. Xiaoqing Ai laughed out loud, it turns out there is such a story. What a bad guy, Xiaoqing Ai muttered. The cameras switched to the observation room, they looked like they wanted to laugh but didn't dare to laugh. Can this effect be laughed at? It's mainly from the first episode to now, the director team has exaggerated it, Su Mo and Fang Ye seem to have signs. As soon as Chen Shen's off-stage information was given, it seemed that he had bad intentions. The guest hesitated because of this. You can analyze it? It seems that you want to analyze Chen Shen badly. The guest came to the Love Variety Show. In addition to increasing the popularity of the Love Variety Show and enriching the storyline, another important thing they have to do is to balance the performance of the guests. You can't set the rhythm and let the audience scold the guests. That's unprofessional. The program team seemed to understand and cut the scene to the villa. On the afternoon of the third day, it was Chen Shen and Su Mian's turn to cook. The first shot in the afternoon was Chen Shen and Su Mian coming back from shopping together, talking in a low voice, and going to the kitchen. Seeing many people praising in the barrage, Xiaoqing Ai nodded. Su Mian is indeed very delicate and beautiful. Her hair was loose, so she took off the rubber band and bit the rubber band with her mouth. After her hair was more upright, she tied the rubber band again. Xiaoqing Ai felt weird. When she was in the talent show before, many barrages said something like I'm dead. Now the barrage is also brushing similar words. What do you think I can do? I can do it myself. Really? Yeah. Then I'm leaving. This is the conversation between Chen Shen and Su Mian, and then Chen Shen really left. Xiaoqing was stunned. This is also possible? Su Mian was stunned for several seconds, then pouted slightly, but she got busy by herself. This bastard, so annoying. No, brother, you are not taking a character task, but a request task. No, I can't stand this scene, what a bastard. Have you noticed that Mian Mian now has a good impression of him, and she also got into Sister Mo's car and gave the letter to Yuan? I only understood it after seeing the boss's prompt. That's right, did he do anything? Didn't he do nothing? Come on, does anyone feel sorry for the big bad wolf? I feel sorry for his godfather Lao Gan Ma. I'm almost angry to death. How can a girl be left to work alone? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 177. Chen Shen is back again, with an extra computer in his hand. Someone started to be arrogant in the barrage, so what if you come back, I still won't forgive you. The results of it? Chen Shen took the computer and sat at the dining table, and asked Su Mian, could it be okay to stay with her here? Su Mian nodded happily. I'm sorry, I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand it anymore. Chen go. You are really not a human being. Why, that's Mian Mian. If it were me, I'd lose even if she gets wet. I still feel sorry for Mian Mian, this guy is really a big bad wolf. The scene cut to the observation room. Ling Yanhui threw the blackboard to the ground with a snap. I can't stand it anymore. I can't help it anymore. It's so ungentlemanly. The other older man also spread his hands and looked at the host. Teacher Lin, what do you want us to say? Lin Tong couldn't help but said, to be honest, it's a social experiment program. Teacher Ji Nan, please analyze it for us. Why did Chen Shen do this? Ji Nan coughed and said, then I'm going to start making wild stories. All ears. Speak boldly. Ji Nan, do you still remember our side mission? Guess what method Chen Shen will use to complete the mission? I definitely remember this, but I still think this task is impossible. Ji Nan nodded, it's really difficult to complete it, but you have to try. Chen Shen treated Mian Mian like this. He probably saw that Mian Mian had a crush on him, and then did it on purpose. Think about it, if he responded to Mian Mian, they are bound. What about Su Mo and Fang? What about Zhou Gaikan and Su Yuan? They can't surrender from the beginning, right? Many people suddenly realized it. Yu Zhongqian smiled and said, as expected of a writer, I can find it from this angle. It's hard for you. Teacher Ji Nan, that's not what you said in the last issue. The show continued, Zhou Gaikan came in, and several camera angles were switched. Although many people still complained about Chen Shen on the barrage, they also started to laugh. Obviously, this scene was not only weird for the audience, but also for Zhou Gaikan, who almost rubbed his eyes. Zhou Gaikan hesitated for a moment, then ran to the kitchen and insisted on helping. Su Mian refused several times, but he didn't listen. After doing some help, Su Mian rejected him righteously. Su Mian said that she was used to cooking alone, but not used to having others help her. Under the camera, Zhou Gaikan washed his hands and retreated. He also glanced at Chen Shen provocatively and said, so that's it? I thought no one was helping you. The barrage started Brother Zhou, good points, so mocking. Okay, Brother Zhou, that's right, give me a hard slap. You have to give Chen Go a thumbs up. This guy has no grace at all, and he didn't even say a polite word. He's a million miles away from Brother Joe. You're laughing so hard at me. Are you relying on Chen Shen to set you up? You were still Xiao Zhou before, but now you are Brother Joe. However, the next second Chen Shen suddenly stood up and stretched. Mian, how about I help you? Over in the kitchen, Su Mian looked up with surprise on her face. Okay. Zhou Gaikan froze on the spot as the barrage exploded. Hurry up and give me some quick-acting heart-saving pills. Damn it, why? It's too biased. There is a clown, I won't tell who it is. Ha ha ha, it's so beautiful. If this isn't love, what do I have to look forward to? Xiaozhou, you can't do it? Don't bother Mian. You are no match for Chen Go, really? That's not what you said last week. Su Mian's straight shots made the show full of effects. Although the audience seemed to dislike Chen Shen a little, they did not anger her. From the beginning to the end, Su Mian was the one with the clearest intentions. If there were wolves in love, then Su Mian would be the only little sheep. At the end of the first episode of the second issue, Xiaoqing crossed her arms and clicked on the next episode, muttering, "These people are really ignorant, and there are still people who eat Chen Shen, Mian, the big bad wolf and the little sheep? Isn't it disgusting? Embarrassing, or not, I'm convinced by these people." The program continued. After dinner, they stayed in twos and threes. Su Mo and Fang also had an analysis. Su Mo felt that Chen Shen should have a crush on Mian, but Fang also refuted it, saying that Chen Shen had a crush on Yuan. Then they talked about themselves, and Fang also took advantage of the opportunity to send out a date invitation, and Su Mo agreed. The first round of dating is about to begin. The rules for the first round are that the man dates the woman. CP fans have begun to occupy the mainstream of barrage, and they have begun to use sincerity CP. Although Chen Shen is acting like a monster, at present, sincerity CP is still unshakable. After Zhou Gaikan was frustrated, his thinking seemed to be clear, and he directly invited Su Yuan, and Su Yuan agreed. CP fans are very satisfied, and the observation room is also discussing this matter. Zhou Gaikan had a filter for his first impression of Su Mian, but he would always push Su Mian towards Chen Shen. After being frustrated in the kitchen just now, Jinan said that this was a good thing, because Su Mian only had Chen Shen in her eyes now. Her character destined her world to be very small. Now that Chen Shen was accommodated in it, it would be difficult to see other people. On the barrage, a bunch of people said they hoped Chen Go would be kinder and not let Mian down. However, the next second Chen Shen stood in front of Su Yuan. "Do you have time the day after tomorrow?" After saying these words, the audience who already liked Mian immediately lost their guard. The barrage was full of shit. "Why the day after tomorrow?" Su Yuan asked. "Chen Shen, guess." The voice-over sounded, Yu Zongqian's voice. He knew, he had known for a long time that Xiaozhou wanted to date Yuan, so he made the date the day after tomorrow. Jinan smiled awkwardly. It was true, proving that his previous analysis was useless. Chen Shen did not passively force Zhou Gaikan to Su Yuan's side, but took the initiative. Ling Yanhui frowned. "Stabilize Mian first? Don't give Xiaozhou hope in Mian." When Xiaozhou went to find Yuan, Chen Shen happened to give every letter to Yuan, and confronted head-on. Many people stared, but, can it be understood this way? Is this how Chen Shen completes the task? But Chen Shen doesn't make an appointment with Mian can't feel it. Although we jokingly call her a little sheep, she is not a little fool. The barrage immediately raised doubts. Setting fans are seriously discussing whether this method has any hope of success. Too idealistic. To crush Xiaozhou's confidence head-on means that he has to go with Yuan. Yuan's personality is not like Mian. She is a very smart girl, which can be seen from her social interaction. Yes, if Chen Shen goes with Yuan, how can Mian stay calm? If this bastard dares to make me and Mian sad, I will kill him. I don't care what he does, just don't touch our sincere CP. Why do I feel that Mian is going to be sad? This bastard deserves to die. Mian is the best in the world. From the beginning to the end, his mind is on Chengo. I am so angry. When Xiaoqing saw this, he also sighed, but he was a little relieved. It should be said or not. From the perspective of dating, he is quite principled. If someone else went, he would probably have failed at this step. A girl like Mian can express herself without reservation and still go to date others. It's amazing. But 5 minutes later, Xiaoqing burst out laughing. It was too hasty. On Saturday, the date, everyone had breakfast in peace and then went out. In the end, Chen Shen and Su Mian were left staring at each other. The comments were dumbfounded. Why didn't I think of that? This bastard made an appointment the day after tomorrow to avoid trouble for Su Yuan? It was for his own sake. Scumbag, damn scumbag. I seem to understand, Chen Go must make an appointment the day after tomorrow, because it would indeed make Mian sad if he made an appointment today, but making an appointment the day after tomorrow means that he and Mian can be alone today. Isn't it still a date? Director, Wolf is too strong, please weaken him. Awesome, he drove Zhou Gaikan to Su Yuan, so Mian had no one to date, and then he went to make an appointment with Su Yuan himself, so scary. Are you using a bug? Making 2 appointments by yourself. Although I don't like watching sweet love variety shows, this is too exaggerated. Brother, teach me, please. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 178. The bright sun spreads evenly from the street corner to the end of the street. Under the lens, people shopping with parasols look like movable flowers. The directing team gave Su Mo and Fang Ye the first scene of their date. Su Mo put on casual life clothes, covering up some of her nobility, and looked extremely bright and charming. Fang Ye still wears relatively mature business attire, and many people on the barrage show their sincerity and good match. Sci-fi, originally a traditional old street, has been developed several times, and now it is all about eating and drinking from beginning to end. Logically speaking, when going on a date in a place like this, you shouldn't carry enough food and drink in your hands. But Su Mo and Fang didn't buy it at all, and Fang had been introducing the city of Yuzhou to Su Mo. Someone in the observation room was very anxious and asked why not buy something to drink. He passed by several milk tea shops and wanted to buy some. How could Gan now be so emotional? Some people retorted, saying that everyone's situation is different, but do Fang Ye and Su Mo just like this style? The barrages agreed crazily that they enjoyed the sincerity CP and the sense of smooth dating. They felt that this was how a big boss like Su Mo fell in love. After visiting Sci-fi, we happened to arrive at the riverside. Fang also arranged for a cruise ship and the two of them boarded it. Perhaps because he talked too much about the city of Yuzhou, he was a little biased towards his career. Su Mo asked Fang Ye. In this era, all industries are approaching saturation, and the threshold for new outlets is sky high, such as new energy, AI, etc. Where are the general opportunities? Fang didn't answer either. Su Mo smiled and then looked at both sides of the cruise ship. The barrage is also urgent. Who can answer this question? If you know it, won't you get rich soon? The observation room was also talking about this matter, and Li Ruking's voice overcame, let me just say, in fact, the relationship between these two people is not right. Fang also has a strong professional aura for Sister Mo, like a little fan like my brother, we should be guided by love and love. Ling Yanhui retorted, but these two are not too young. Love at this stage cannot be ignored. What they are talking about is their current life. I think Brother Ye is doing nothing wrong. On the barrage, it is generally believed that Ling Yanhui is right. Stages are different, and people are also different. But Fang didn't have an objective perspective. He didn't answer, but expanded the topic of conversation. He pointed to the stilted building by the river in the distance and asked, "Do you know where that place is?" Su Mo smiled and said, "Hanja Cave. You don't think I don't know this place, do you?" Fang Ye laughed, "Then do you know who the cave owner of Hanja Cave is?" Qin Wenzi. Fang was also a little surprised and nodded, "Yes, Qin Wenzi is not only the boss of Hanjiadong, but also a hot pot maker. The Yuxiang hot pot she made is more famous than the Chen hot pot you invested in. Speaking of this, I am quite out of curiosity, why do you choose Chen hot pot?" As soon as this conversation came out, the barrage became unstoppable. "Chen Shen, are you polite? Ha ha ha, I feel relieved. I now understand why I like this show so much. The director is really not afraid of things. He didn't edit anything. Haha, I feel really comfortable. Yes, why are you throwing yourself into Chen Go's hot pot? Brother, it's okay." Although he doesn't know some things, this paragraph accurately touched Chen Go's heart. "Backstabbing from my roommate, ha ha ha. I checked, and there is indeed nothing wrong with what Brother Ye said. It seems that Chen Hotpot is really not good. Sichuan and Chongqing collectively closed 30 stores half a month ago. No wonder even the director said it would close down. At this moment, many people already have some opinions about Chen Shen. Of course, these opinions are not really serious, but they are just dissatisfied with Chen Shen." Fang Ye passively dissed Chen Shen, and the audience looked at Fang Ye more and more favorably. Su Mo explained Chen Hotpot's business advantages. It was the first hotpot brand to put health first. After the gutter oil incident, it was also the first hotpot brand to open its kitchen to customers. Should I say it or not, when Su Mo explained this, many people on the barrage agreed and said that they had also eaten Chen hotpot and said it was delicious. Su Mo asked Fang Ye again, "If it were you running a hotpot brand, would you still be able to do it in this era?" Fang also thought for a long time, then shook his head. "Haidai Lao is already the most perfect answer." Su Mo nodded, then shook his head, but did not utter a rebuttal and looked away. "Wonderful, I kind of understand it. This pair can really drink. I don't feel any violation at all when they talk about this. Okay, Brother Ye has kind of kept up with Sister Mo indeed. In this era, all industries are saturated, and it is almost impossible to make a comeback in catering. If you ask me, I will say that if there is still a hotpot brand on the market, Chen Hotpot will not go bankrupt." Ha ha ha, yes, stab Chen Shen in the back again. Brother Ye wants to really be with Sister Mo. It's not difficult. All he needs to do is prove that Sister Mo was wrong in investing in Chen Hotpot. A woman's defensiveness will only drop when she is frustrated. There were different opinions in the observation room, and Li Rooking's voice overcame, "I still don't think it's right. I think Su Mo is seeking recognition by asking Brother Ye. Didn't she fail to invest in Chen Hotpot?" With the character of a girl like Su Mo, definitely not admitting defeat, Fang Ye actually didn't talk to Sister Mo about this. Lin Tong's voice sounded, "Isn't Yan Hui in the hotpot business? What do you think?" Ling Yan Hui, "It's hard to say. We are in the hotpot business, mainly to build a brand, and then find partners to join in and develop together. There is strength in numbers. Haidai Lao is still a directly operated store until now. P.S. Haidai Lao has been open for franchising some time ago, but the parallel world I wrote did not have the mask incident, the economic downturn was not so severe, and the pressure was not so great. Don't take it seriously. This is the most abnormal part of Haidai Lao. There are more than 900 stores, and none of them are in a loss-making state for more than half a year. Brother Ye is right. From the perspective of capital, Haidai Lao is indeed the most perfect answer in the hot pot industry. Case, so even Su Mo couldn't refute it. In this era, it is really difficult to create a listed hot pot company. Someone asked, what about Chen Hot Pot? Is it really going to go bankrupt? Ling Yanhui smiled and said, how do you want me to answer? I do know this brand and have learned about it. I can only say that it is difficult to turn around. There is a big problem with their capital chain. Let me give you some off-site information. I really didn't know that Chen Shen's family was Chen Hot Pot before, but there is one interesting thing. Sister Mo went to Yuzhou to pursue responsibility. The investors' money was wasted. Do you understand? The observation room started to discuss. The barrage was even more lively. Oh my goodness, a down-and-out young master and a domineering female president, right? Ha ha ha, so beautiful. If that's the case, Chen GCP is Chen Go's nemesis. Brother Ye can decide Chen Go's 1 million, and Sister Mo can decide Chen Go's family business. I'm dying of laughter. I'm finally comfortable. The down-and-out young master went on the show for 1 million, but his life was still being pinched by others on the show, ha ha ha. Chen Shen. As long as you treat me and well, I will go to Chen Hot Pot for dinner tomorrow. Just consider it as a blessing fee for you. Hey, Chen Shen, this bastard, doesn't seem to have an easy time. The camera turned and showed an Audi car, Zhou Gaikan and Su Yuan. Zhou Gaikan is from the Public Relations Department of Huanyu Media. He took Su Yuan to his company for a tour in the morning and met an artist. He said hello, but he didn't enter the camera. Many people on the barrage guessed who it was. Huanyu Media is in a special location, facing Yuan Media across the river. In the barrage, many people explained the conflict between Huanyu and Yuan, and they were also very happy. The two companies can greet each other by standing on the rooftop with a telescope, but they are mortal enemies. In the morning, I walked around the company and blew the wind by the Jialing River. In the afternoon, I went to an amusement park with trampolines, archery, and bowling. The atmosphere is good. As long as Xiaozhou doesn't bother Mian, she is also a good match for Yuan. Come on, fight for your reputation. Xiaozhou, please, if you lose to Yuan, I will be embarrassed to say anything to you. Seeing these barrages, Xiaoqing laughed. Chen Shen made a date with Su Yuan, and many people thought that Mian would be sad, but suddenly found that Chen Shen and Su Mian could get along today, just like a date, and many viewers broke their defense. Take the previous date between Su Mo and Fang Ye, many barrages were about Chen Shen. Su Yuan and Zhou Gaikan are getting along, and at least half of the comments are "come on, Xiaozhou," and the other part of the fans are all laughing. It's not that their date is interesting, it's that the comments are interesting. The program crew may also be making trouble, and immediately cut the camera to the villa of the love variety show. Chen Shen sat on the carpet in the living room, put the computer on the coffee table and tapped away, wearing headphones. In the kitchen, Mian tied a small apron and cooked seriously. Back off, where did this dirty thing come from? My Mian, my heart hurts. It's so annoying, Mian spoils this dog too much. The comments collectively broke down, what was the most exaggerated? Su Mian finished cooking and walked to the door of the restaurant in small steps. Seeing Chen Shen still tapping away with headphones, she actually brought the cooked dishes to the coffee table, with very small movements. Then he served the meal, and then Chen Shen stretched and looked at Su Mian, happily praising her dishes for their good color, aroma, and taste. Su Mian smiled like a flower. In the observation room, almost all the male guests were throwing the small pillows behind them. Too exaggerated, if I were Chen Shen, I would kneel down and propose marriage now. Why? Why? I can't stand it, really. The key is what Chen Shen did. Didn't he take care of Mian's feelings at the beginning, and follow Mian's rhythm, and coax Mian into this. Jinan smiled bitterly. To be honest, I am a very rational person, and I have never envied others, but I am really a little envious of Chen Shen now. Mian's brain circuit is not the same. If she can meet such a girl in this life, what else does she need for romance? Lin Tong is the host, and she is still calm. Good guy, even our love experts are broken. Li Ruking looked, she smiled like an auntie, but she didn't throw the pillow. After everyone calmed down, she said, to be honest, I just started to ship this couple now. Maybe we have different perspectives. Mian's personality is indeed a little special. Teacher Jinan also said that her world may be very small. She works as a programmer. Not only is it small, but her lifestyle is also fixed. Now suddenly someone different has walked into it. It really touches me. Yu Zhongqian retorted, I have no opinion on Mian. The one who has an opinion is Chen Shen. Why did he meet such a good girl? Ling Yanhui, yes, why should he meet her? He is a wolf, he is fake. Li Ruking covered her mouth and laughed. The comments were all right. Really, if it was anyone else, I could do it, but Chen Shen, this bastard, is on a mission. I feel a knife. Chen dog, if you dare to let Mian down, I'll take a plane to Yuzhou to show you something good. Stop it, Chen Shen, please, just be good to Mian, I'll eat your Chen hotpot every day in the future, woo woo woo. Xiaoqing pouted when she saw these comments. Humph, sister won't argue with you, you're young, and there's still someone who hasn't appeared yet. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 179. The camera returned to Su Mo and Fang Yet. We took a cruise from Jialing River to the Yangtze River, made a circle, and got off the ship at Kaoshanmen Pier. As the timeline reached the evening, the barrage also discovered that something was wrong. Fang Ye communicated less with Su Mo. Su Mo occasionally picked up her mobile phone to take pictures, and Fang Ye was a little distracted looking at Su Mo's figure. Jinan's voiceover sounded, girls should understand girls better. The way they get along is really wrong. Li Ruking answered, yes, this is the first date. Dating is about getting closer. If we don't get closer, any in-depth communication will be in vain. On the barrage, people who took the sincerity CP started to be harsh and gave various explanations, saying that the guests were unprofessional. In the evening, Fang also said to eat hot pot. Su Mo said that he had eaten too much hot pot during this period and wanted to eat local specialties. After the food was served, Su Mo and Fang also looked at each other. Fang was stunned for a moment, and then smiled. Su Mo said, I don't know what they are doing. Seeing this, Jinan's voiceover sounded again, no, this couple won't make it, and Fang can't keep up. Lin Tong, why? Jinan, we have a way of writing things, which is called reverse order. Looking back from now, their communication today seems to be on the same line, but in fact it is not on the same line. Su Mo was very quiet at the beginning, and Fang also chatted. After entering a city like Yuzhou, Su Mo started to ask questions, which shows that Su Mo is following Fang Ye's rhythm. Later, Su Mo began to take the initiative to understand what Fang Ye said, and talked about the unique culture of a city like Yuzhou, which also extended to business. In fact, the two of them had different views. Su Mo must have her own answer. It's just hard to refute Fang Ye. Yu Zhongqian answered, why? Why don't I understand? Jinan pointed at the screen and said, for example, in the scene just now, Su Mo looked at Fang Ye, and the two of them looked at each other very clearly. As boys, are they looking for a topic? But he was in a trance. Why was he in a trance? Either you are tired or you feel pressure. Neither of these options is a good result. What would happen if you were dating a girl you like? Sue Mo also took the initiative to change the topic to something easier to talk about, and then started talking. An argument started on the barrage. Many people sighed. Experts are indeed experts, and what they say makes sense. As soon as the wind direction changed, the voice of the non-sincere CP immediately became louder. The main reason is that Sister Mo is so good. I will talk to you about development and opportunities in the up market and down market whether you come or not. Who can answer this? Originally, it was just a normal encounter, and then a group of people got drunk. Are you suffering from hypoglycemia? How big is Sister Mo? Pengcheng Pilot Capital was worth hundreds of billions at its peak. Although it has shrunk now, it is still a large capital worth tens of billions. There is a big gap with Fang. Sue Mo, I'm coming, but it's better not to come. Don't do it. I really yearn for this kind of contact. If you can't do it, who else can? Is there a more powerful male guest who hasn't come? The cameras showed Zhou Gaikan and Su Yuan. After dinner, Zhou Gaikan had other plans. I took Su Yuan to the live house to watch the performance. He greeted the performers and the boss, and introduced Su Yuan to them. On the barrage, the discussion of these two people immediately overshadowed the discussion of Su Mo and Fang Ye. Okay, Xiao Zhou is very ambitious, I really want to show off my muscles. After Chen Guozi hit Xiao Zhou in Mian, I actually doubted whether Xiao Zhou can chase girls. This is obviously very good. Xiao Zhou, from the public relations department of the entertainment industry of a listed company, do you think you are joking? It's just about showing the areas you are good at to the girls you like, and it will directly add charm. Ha ha ha, Xiao Zhou is serious, he was forced by Chen Guo. Compared to the Buddhist brother Ye, Xiao Zhou even arranged time after dinner. This shows the pressure Chen Guo puts on him, ha ha ha. Then I can rest assured. You're not a difficult girl like Sister Mo. Can't you win this? Chen Guo has trapped himself in a cocoon. The atmosphere was indeed good, and Su Yuan even shouted to the stage to cheer for the singers. There was a smile on my face until I left. The first day of appointments is over. There is another funny point. Late at night, when everyone returned to the dormitory to rest happily, Chen Shen asked Fang how was the date. Fang was also stunned for a moment, and then he immediately said with an air of dignity, "Will it be difficult for your brother to take action?" Under the camera, Chen Shen's frown was immediately captured, and the program team gave a close-up. Dan Mu Gaga music. When Su Mo and Fang Ye came back, they hardly talked in the car. The program team also provided a relatively heavy BGM, which was equivalent to official certification. The date between the two was indeed not good. As a result, Fang also started to save face and was unwilling to embarrass himself in front of his roommates. The key is that these words frightened Chen Shen, and his brows almost came together. Sure enough, this kid is here for 1 million. Hearing that brother Ye is so confident, he became anxious. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that my brother also has such a humorous side. Why are you treating Sister Mo like this? Isn't it going to be a good day today? Chen Shen, damn, that's Su Mo, what should I think of? I laughed to death. I'm afraid this is not a comedy. How did he manage to look so confident? It almost made me watch his date with Sister Mo again. Late at night, after turning off the lights, the picture did not cut away, and there was a little light outside the window. Lying on the bed on the left was Chen Shen. After a long time, Chen Shen let out a long sigh. Fang Ye was lying on the bed on the right. He turned over and let out a long sigh. The figure on the bed on the left suddenly sat up. Brother Ye, are you still not asleep? Why don't you tell me the details of your date? I am a bystander and I can give you some advice. Fang Ye didn't move. No, good brother, I just sighed that the day was too short and we didn't get along enough. You can go to sleep. The laughing people in the observation room fell on their backs. It turns out that this kid Chen Shen can also be anxious. Xiaoqing covered her stomach and laughed, why bother? Just one sentence will make two people feel uncomfortable hiding under the quilt. The next day, the camera did not directly show Chen Shen dating Su Yuan. But Chen Shen went out early in the morning, and Su Yuan was still at the villa having lunch with everyone. At 3 o'clock, Su Yuan looked at the time and went out. What do you mean? Are you so arrogant? You don't go out until 3 o'clock. What is Chen Go doing? Is it messed up? Was brother Ye scared last night? Ha ha ha, you're laughing so hard. I can't sleep even if it's me. Su Mo and Fang Ye, that's not an iron wall. What a backstab from a roommate. Chen Go is cold. I told you that yesterday Xiao Zhou arranged a day with 3 sessions and 2 meals. It's already 3 o'clock and we haven't met yet, GG. It doesn't matter if it's ruined, it's better for you to treat Mian well than anything else. Isn't Mian more fragrant than $1 million? You are not a poor person. You don't have $1 million at home. A few wide-angle shots from far to near, a corner on Nanban Road, is the most impressive city skyline in the entire Yuzhou. Ups and downs, it really feels like an international metropolis. The dining bar is opposite Kaoshinman. Many people on the barrage were surprised. This angle was really shocking. It felt like the place in the Magic City. Plus, it was a mountain city, and the ups and downs were greater than that of the Magic City. Chen Shen, carrying a camera, picked up Su Yuan. The two sat opposite each other and started chatting slowly. At the beginning, this was all that appeared on the barrage. What was Zhou Gaikan's specifications yesterday? I took Su Yuan to Huayu Media. Su Yuan was stunned by the splendid scene. What now? Chen Shen always spoke with caution. Chen Shen, if I didn't want to date you, I wouldn't be here. Su Yuan, why? Chen Shen smiled, as if a little embarrassed to say it. Su Yuan nodded, I understand. I rarely come to places like this. I always feel like it's nothing special, but it's very popular on the internet. Chen Shen was stunned for a moment, then lowered his head and said oh. Su Yuan immediately covered his mouth, no, I'm not saying that the place you chose is not good, it's just that you don't have this awareness at ordinary times. Chen Shen raised his head, yes, I know. Perhaps because he was afraid that his expression would not be good, Su Yuan added, actually, I'm quite surprised. What's the surprise? I'm surprised why you asked me out. Chen Shen smiled, I may be slow to get involved. Even if I confirm something, I will still hesitate. Su Yuan, why are you hesitating? Chen Shen, there are many aspects, such as one's own heart and whether it will have a bad impact on others. Su Yuan looked at Chen Shen several times and seemed a little surprised, then why don't you hesitate now? Chen Shen just laughed. Say it. First of all, the rules will definitely force you to make a choice. Secondly, deep down, I feel that I have to be braver. The other thing is, I just think you are a very good person. Su Yuan burst out laughing. Chen Shen, what are you laughing at? Su Yuan immediately shook his head, no, I just didn't expect that you, who looks like a boring gourd, have such a cute side. On the barrage, question marks started floating around at some point. Sitting opposite each other, chatting in a normal way, and then exchanging glances, the atmosphere gradually became a bit ambiguous. You bitch, what are you doing? Do you remember the food that was delivered to your mouth yesterday? Mian is still at home. He's acting like this. This guy's acting is amazing. Why does he give me the feeling of sleeping? You're going to apply what you've learned now, right? Imitate Mian and chase Su Yuan? Damn you. Are you a devil? Pretending to be introverted and shy? People cook for you, why are you trying to learn from them? Su Yuen, are you a fool? How could this guy be like this? He just wants to break up you and Xiaozhou. Damn it, I suddenly realized, isn't the side task in this issue asking Chen Go how to complete the task? Doesn't this guy want all three female guests to be attracted to him? Some people are talking about some hellish joke. Not only were the barrages flying by crazily, but the people in the observation room were also looking at each other in confusion. Lin Tong touched his head, I understand. Everyone looked over. Lin Tong, I understand why the director team invited so many actors and guests to come. Let's evaluate the acting skills, right? What a devil's joke is this? Jinan was still frowning and thinking, and waited for everyone to discuss for a while before speaking. There is no doubt that Chen Shen, the brat, is 100% acting. He didn't respond to Mian at all. He is very mature. Now he is facing yes, Yuan, and you are so cautious that you don't dare to say anything. The contrast is too great. Yes, it must be acting, but I am a little surprised by Su Yuan's attitude. She seems a little different from yesterday. Jinan nodded, indeed, the overall rhythm yesterday was in Xiaozhou's hands. He arranged it very full. Every place was his home court. He took Yuan to play. However, today Chen Shen pushed all the rhythm to Su Yuan. He made an appointment with someone, but he told the other party at the first time that I am not very familiar with this person. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't come here. Everyone thought about it, and then nodded slowly. The show continued, and the river wind passed through the wind chimes in the restaurant bar, jingling. Both of them were a little restrained at first. After a few exchanges, Su Yuan obviously relaxed and began to ask Chen Shen questions. After Chen Shen answered, he would extend the question and ask back, and then they smiled at each other when they were happy. Under the camera, Su Yuan had a clear pursed mouth and nodded. I don't know if the drink was delicious or if he felt that the person on the other side was satisfied. At this time, Chen Shen began to ask back, do you remember the first night, you said I have a good personality? Su Yuan nodded. Chen Shen, actually, it's your good personality, and then it infected me. Your personality will make anyone smile when they chat with you. Su Yuan was stunned, is it that good? Yes. Don't you think it's heartless? Chen Shen immediately shook his head, no, 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 not at all. You must be happy first. When you are happy, you can also make people around you happy. This is a very important and powerful quality. I wish I could be surrounded by people like you. Su Yuan held her face with her hands, looking at Chen Shen seriously, with a smile on her face. This bastard, something is wrong, why do I feel that Yuan is getting serious? Stop chatting, please, it's really wrong to continue chatting. Why do I feel that there is nothing special, why is Yuan's condition getting better and better? Now they are looking at each other directly, and they don't avoid each other's eyes. Jinan's voice overcame, hey, ordinary people don't learn this. First of all, you have to be handsome to do this. Only if you are handsome will she listen to you seriously. On the barrage, question marks began to float on the screen. Who are you looking down on? Jinan, Chen Shen is definitely a veteran. Xiaozhou is actually a little confused. The arrangements are too full and he didn't pay much attention to Yuan's emotions. You saw Chen Shen's side. Chen Shen handed over the initiative as soon as he came. Whoever has the initiative will feel safe. Only when the sense of security is full will there be emotional fluctuations. Communication with emotional fluctuations can produce results. Chen Shen obviously noticed this, and then began to give emotional value, and it looked like he learned from you and was influenced by you. The barrage began to break again. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Ching-Jo-Mi Se. Chapter 180. On the screen, under the Kinsaman Bridge, one lens could only fit one pier. Moving the lens to the right, there was the intersection of the two rivers shining with sparkling waves. Further up, on the other side of the river, there are clusters of stilted buildings, forming a strong contrast with the high-rise buildings behind them. Chen Shen and Su Yuan sat in the same place and chatted for more than 2 hours. This kind of situation would be very awkward if they were in other romance dramas. But here, the two of them got better and better the more they chatted, and in the end they both looked at each other and smiled. After Chen Shen paid the bill, he took Su Yuan to the famous online check-in point in Yuzhou, opposite Hanja Cave and under the Kinsaman Bridge. Su Yuan stood by the river with a small coat, while Chen Shen trotted with a bunch of pineapples, one for each brother and one sister, plus a piece of yellow pineapple, before they borrowed a popular photo stop. Then he waved happily to Su Yuan, who was in a trance for a while before passing over. Should I say it or not, Chen Go is still very good. Last time I told my boyfriend that I wanted to take pictures, he looked disgusted. It seemed like it was a particularly embarrassing thing. It's over, it's over. In reality, there are not many boys who can go to such lengths to take a photo of their girlfriend. Damn. The way Yuan looks at him has changed. No, how about a few hours worth one day? I don't accept it. There's something really wrong with this guy. In the first episode, he was completely pretending to be a pig to eat the tiger. He must have figured out everyone's character, and he's so good at this. You is a girl, I also do this, but I have never talked about this. Su Yuan might have felt a little embarrassed, so he took a few pictures and said it was okay to leave. After all, there were still a bunch of people waiting around. Chen Shen was not in a hurry at all, and asked Su Yuan to change the angle several times. He turned from left to right and clicked. Maybe I said hello in advance and gave him a small pineapple, but the onlookers were still cheering, saying that the handsome guy took great photos and your girlfriend is so pretty. It made Su Yuan blush. Su Yuan became more and more anxious, and the people around him said there was no rush, just take pictures. Chen Shen turned around and bowed to them. There were more boos, but Chen Shen led Su Yuan away. It's really good. If we girls go out with a boy like this, the experience will be completely different. Li Rooking's voice overcame. Lin Tong reminded, dear actors and teachers, do you think this part about Chen Shen is real or staged? Li Rooking, I'm about to smile knowingly. You have to remind me. On the stone, Su Yuan leaned over to see the photo, and Chen Shen stretched out his hand to block the last bit of the sunset's afterglow. It looks good, this one looks good too, wow, this one is amazing, you are so good at taking pictures. At first, he looked at the camera. After flipping through it a few times, he looked at Chen Shen, and then he beamed with joy. Chen Shen smiled and said, look, it's valuable to wait a little longer, right? Su Yuan nodded repeatedly. On the trail along the river, the camera was already in Su Yuan's hand, and she was still flipping through it. Chen Shen took a few steps forward, waited for a while, and waited for Su Yuan to come closer before continuing forward. After the sun set, Chen Shen asked, how was it? Are you happy? Someone screamed in the observation room. The main reason is that the scene seems very comfortable, and it is a bit like the other party confirming whether his performance is good, and it is also a test. Su Yuan raised his head, but did not answer immediately. Chen Shen smiled and changed the topic, I booked a barbecue restaurant with a good night view. Let's go and cook. Why? Came the voiceover from the observation room. Why didn't you wait for the other party to answer? Logically speaking, all the preparations are in place, and there is a lot of chemistry in getting along, so why not take a small step forward? Jinan's voice sounded, Chen Shen is right. Let's take Xiao Zhou yesterday as an example. He only did this one thing in the whole day. First, I showed you my work, then took you to play, and finally shaped in this atmosphere, I took a step forward, but failed. Before I put my hand on it, Yuan stood up. It seemed like a coincidence, but in fact it was almost. Yuan's threshold is very high. Why? Because in daily interactions, she gives others emotional value. This kind of girl is not so easily tempted. Just like now, if Chen Shen insists on waiting for this answer, it is equivalent to putting the moment at risk. Great atmosphere stopped. Yu Zhongqian stared, then nodded, it feels interesting. Jinan, in this regard, Chen Shen is more understanding and kind than Xiao Zhou. Therefore, he didn't do anything on the first day, nor was he silent and had nothing to say. He was probably observing other people. Lin Tong, wow, I almost get goosebumps after listening to Teacher Ji's analysis. Jinan, if you are an ordinary girl, Xiao Zhou's trick yesterday would have basically succeeded. It's just that the threshold of Yuan is a little higher. Maybe it's because Xiao Zhou's experience only goes so far. The next steps were too full, and in the end it looked like it would work, but in fact there was no real breakthrough. On the barrage, someone continued to analyze. Speak more, I feel it is a useful experience. Maid, if you look at it this way, Chen Go is not a good person, and you, Jinan, are not a good person either. What do you mean? Why can't I understand? Let me summarize. Jinan said that Chen Shen completed Xiao Zhou's preparations in one afternoon. At this moment, the two of them have actually achieved the same results. Indeed, Yuan and Xiao Zhou only got a little carried away when they were watching the performance at the end. Yes, in the morning at Huanyu, Yuan was actually very reserved. In the afternoon at the amusement center, I didn't relax until the end. I really didn't get involved until watching the show. Why do I have a bad feeling? Mad, this bitch has never been so proactive towards me and now you are so attentive to him, I really want to kill him. What's the use of being the same? Doesn't Chen Shen still have Mian clinging to him? When he goes back and takes a look, won't he wake up? Under the night, Chen Shen kept grilling meat, then put the better ones in front of Su Yuan, and gave him the corners. Su Yuan looked at Chen Shen, then looked at the distance, and after a long time he suddenly said, actually, you are quite powerful, neither fighting nor grabbing, and interesting. In this scene, Jinan's voice sounded again, you see, this is the effect of not waiting for an answer just now. It was precisely because he didn't give an answer that Yuan continued to think about it. However, the more he thought about it, the more impression he had of Chen Shen. The deeper. Yu Zhongqian, but weren't they the same yesterday? After returning to the villa, Yuan was also very kind to Xiao Zhou. Jinan, yes, it's the same, but there was no follow-up yesterday. Now Chen Shen is having dinner with UNK. Let's see if there is any follow-up. The barrage didn't think so. They thought it was a good guy card and said that Jinan's analysis was too much. Chen Shen smiled, you see, you always bring energy to others, and you praise others inadvertently. Not fighting or grabbing is a very high level, but I can't do it. Su Yuan was stunned for a moment, and then the smile appeared on her face again. She affirmed Chen Shen because she felt that Chen Shen did a good job, but she did not give him feedback because of some concerns. If you give feedback, the other party will give feedback back to you. Anyone with a discerning eye can tell at a glance that Su Yuan enjoys chatting with Chen Shen. After chatting and laughing, Su Yuan stood at a fork in the road and looked at Chen Shen, it's still very early. Chen Shen raised the camera in his hand, night is the best time to take pictures. The two of them started to walk on the road. At this time, Su Yuan did not object to taking photos when there were people around. He was very proactive. Unlike in the afternoon, I was afraid of disturbing others. After taking the photo, I trotted back to look at it, and then praised Chen Shen. Why do I feel the same? It seems like this with everyone you get along with. It's stable, 100% stable. Xiaozhou was frustrated by Mian. He must be focused on Yuan now, but Chen Go still has Mian. Indeed, you can rest assured. Even if Chen Go's purpose is to shake Yuan's heart, his true colors will be revealed when he returns to the villa. Ha ha ha. The observation room is also discussing this point. Does Chen Shen's operation make sense? Chen Shen and Su Yuan got tired of playing and got in the car. It seemed that they could already reach a conclusion. Even if Chen Shen's effect is better, it's still 6-5. Once he gets back to the villa to get along with everyone, and has some sleep, Yuan has to wake up no matter what, right? In the car, Su Yuan still had a smile on his face. Remember to give me the photo when you go back. Chen Shen, okay, I can fix some of them and send them to you together. Su Yuan smiled at Chen Shen. Chen Shen hesitated for a while, looked at Su Yuan several times, and then asked the question from the afternoon, are you happy today? The first time I asked, the audience didn't think it was special. After analysis in the observation room, they felt that it was a trial that transcended relationships. But this time, even the audience could see that it was a bit special. It is indeed a kind of test, as if asking the question, are you satisfied with me? In the observation room, Jinan frowned, no, I feel it's still close. Even if there is a double check, the threshold is actually higher at this time. This time, someone answered, I seem to understand. When Su Yuan faced this kind of problem, he actually had to undergo psychological construction twice. Jinan, yes, Chen Shen is indeed very powerful. After the first test, he immediately avoided it and raised the atmosphere to the highest point. Then he asked again. He did better than Xiaozhou, but I don't think it is special. Outstanding effect. The voiceover was discussing, but the show didn't stop. Su Yuan seemed to have no chance of hesitation this time. I'm happy, I must be happy. Chen Shen was stunned, and the smile on his face immediately became stronger, and then he looked at Su Yuan, really? On the barrage, seeing Chen Shen's demeanor, everyone doubted whether Chen Shen really liked Su Yuan. It feels very sincere. But this time, Su Yuan avoided it, not daring to meet Chen Shen's eyes. Jinan, it's bad, I'm anxious. In fact, it would be better if Yuan gave me the answer. It's already better than Xiaozhou. I have to confirm it again. Doesn't that force Yuan to think more? Hey. Lin Tong, he couldn't have fallen into it himself, right? Puff. Under this shot, the two of them were silent for at least 5 seconds, and then Chen Shen seemed to be discouraged and leaned toward the car seat. Oh, I understand. Su Yuan was stunned and looked over immediately, but Chen Shen was already looking out the car window. Then there was silence again. Ha ha ha, happy, Chen Go has overturned. I'm laughing so hard, that's it? That's it? Well done, Miss Yuan. Yeah. I'm so happy to see Chen Go eat up. The barrage had just started to party, but Su Yuan's brows furrowed. She took the initiative to sit a little closer to Chen Shen. What's the name of the barbecue restaurant we just ate at? Chen Shen didn't even turn his head, Nanjiangpan. Then the car was silent again. A few seconds later, Su Yuan asked again, have you studied photography? Chen Shen, no. A few seconds later, Su Yuan, I still think the first photo you took of me is the best. Chen Shen, oh. On the barrage, The screen was full of question marks suddenly appeared. What happened? Why did it change suddenly? Chengo, you deserve to die. Pua, naked Pua, dog, you are such a beast. Woo woo woo, I feel so uncomfortable, my UN, you are fooled. Didn't this dog just go against the wind? Scrap, Chengo is a scum, a pure scum without any impurities. No, I have to study this part carefully. In the observation room, several men hugged their heads and looked at each other, doubting their lives. The wind direction changed too quickly, and in an instant, the initiative went to Chen Shen. The last second, Chen Shen was still waiting pitifully for Yuan to admit it, and the next second, Yuan immediately began to panic. Jinan smiled bitterly, oh, I was careless. Isn't this guy really afraid of being beaten? Some people began to roll up their sleeves, too much, he is 100% acting, it can't be like this in reality. Lin Tong laughed, then looked at Jinan, it seems that double check is still useful. The camera returned to the villa, and a group of people were playing cards around a coffee table. Chen Shen pushed the door and entered the house. Everyone looked back and was obviously a little confused. Isn't it a date? How come you, a man, got home first? Fang Ye waved at Chen Shen with great interest, come on, play cards. Chen Shen had a blank expression, I've been running all day, a little tired, I'll go upstairs to rest first. Everyone was stunned, and Zhou Gaikan began to show his joy. Under the camera, his facial expression changed significantly. When Chen Shen went upstairs, Su Yuan appeared in the living room. This picture really makes people feel that Chen Shen and Su Yuan don't play well. Chen Shen is so awesome, how can it be good? Zhou Gaikan was very happy, stood up with a smile on his face, and then ran to Su Yuan, you're back, let's play cards, bluffing, it's fun, I lost all night, come and help me get revenge. But Su Yuan's eyes were still looking at the stairs, with a complicated expression. After Zhou Gaikan finished speaking, he looked at him, you guys play, I'm tired too, I'm going upstairs to rest. Zhou Gaikan's smile froze on his face, and then he took a step back unconsciously. This scene is so sad, but why do I want to laugh so much? Chengo, you are such a jerk, Xiao Zhou is almost being played to death by you. Mian, I don't want your help, Yuan, I'm tired, play by yourself, I really didn't mean to laugh. This show is really interesting, at first I felt sorry for the big bad wolf Chen Shen, then I felt sorry for Mian, now I really feel sorry for Xiao Zhou. Zhou Gaikan, Chen Shen you old bastard, lifelong enemy. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, Xiao Zhou, you should put the blame on Chengo, he is such a jerk. Hi, really hi, this scene, Mian also I won't misunderstand him. After all, Chen Shen ignored Su Yuan, and made Xiao Zhou doubt his life. The key is that Yuan himself was confused. The program team really knows how to choose people. In the observation room, I don't know who took the lead, but they all said scumbag, scumbag. After a while, Lin Tong said, dear audience, don't misunderstand, Chen Shen is dedicated to his work, which is equivalent to his job, and it is within the normal range. Our program has not deceived anyone. It was broadcast with the consent of everyone. If you really can't understand it, just watch it as a documentary. Lin Tong still followed the process, but the other guests had not recovered yet. Xiao Zhou is so miserable, really. If he continues like this, I'm afraid he will get depression. Chen Shen is really good. Even if he is a scumbag in real life, he is no more than this, right? I haven't seen enough, director. How about we continue recording? Directly record the next episode. Jinan coughed a few times, in fact, this task is still an impossible task. You can't take care of both Mian and Yuan. Besides, there is also Sister Mo. But after Jinan finished speaking, everyone was laughing. Just now, Jinan was still saying that Chen Shen did something wrong, but he was immediately slapped in the face. Now it seems that he wants to get back at him. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 181. Xiaoqing I didn't want to watch the discussion in the observation room later. I finished watching the second episode and was satisfied. Why? In Xiaoqing I's opinion, this episode was completely Chen Shen's own fault. Xiaoqing I didn't believe Su Yuan could be calm after watching this episode. Xiaoqing I tried to think about it from another perspective. If it was him, wouldn't he kill Chen Shen? Pooing himself in front of the national audience. No one can forgive it, right? I've finished watching the second episode, it's really good. Xiaoqing I edited a WeChat message and was about to send it out, but held back. Before I knew it, it was already past 12 o'clock. Chen Shen seemed to go to bed early. Forget it. I'll send it to him tomorrow. After watching the show, Xiaoqing I was very excited and started to browse Weibo again. As soon as he clicked in, he burst out laughing. Wolf is too strong, please weaken it. This entry is second on the hot search list. Xiaoqing I curled his lips. In the last episode, they all said that Wolf was too weak. He didn't make it through the second episode. Looking down, there are 4 hot searches related to dating variety shows in the top 10. Haha, I feel sorry for Joe Gaiken. This can also be on the hot search. I don't know if he is happy or sad. Xiaoqing I was so happy. For Xiaoqing I, there is a joke here, because Joe Gaiken caused both himself and Chen Shen to be on the hot search. Now it seems that no one can escape from the fate. I wonder if Joe Gaiken can bear this boomerang. Xiaoqing opened this entry. Let me give you a question. Guess who is the #1 clown in Love Lesson. I am so amused. Xiaozhou is my biggest laugh. He is a bad cook and loves to play. He helps Mian cook and provokes Chenggo, but he is killed. Me too. Xiaozhou is so funny. He is the best red nose of the year. Mian has no hope. If he goes back to pursue Yuan, he will be easily defeated. Well, he was immediately killed by Chenggo again. The show is good in every way, but it is too short. I really want to see the sequel. Of course, Chenggo is really not a human being. Damn, you have to admit that this dead scumbag has something. Who the hell said that he is a wolf that eats grass? Haha, everyone laughs at my brother Joe on the internet, but you are not as good as my brother Joe in reality. The one above, Joe Gaiken, is that you? If you have the guts, go on the big account and speak. You feel sorry for Xiaozhou, then Xiaozhou will be yours. I feel sorry for Miss Yuan. Seeing these comments, Xiaoqing was so happy. What goes around comes around. When I was on the show, many people on the internet made fun of me and Chen Shen. Now it's finally Joe Gaiken's turn. Exit this entry. The next one is 1 million vs Mian. This is a voting topic. Mian's support rate has reached 74%. Xiaoqing curled her lips, don't these people sleep? I don't accept it. Chenggo, go and hook up with Su Yuan. Mian is mine. Mian is really my perfect ideal. She skipped a grade in high school and is a chip process engineer. She is an absolute technical talent. The most important thing is that she is dedicated. Let alone Joe Gaiken, she never takes the initiative to talk to brother yet. She is obsessed with Chen Shen. I am so angry. Where is my Mian? No, why does Chenggo do that? He is really not worthy of Mian. I feel that this bastard is relying on the task given by the program team to be a scumbag. Hey, rationally speaking, Chenggo does respect Mian the most. In the first episode, he completely respected Mian's personality, unlike Xiaozhou, who kept chatting with Mian. So, do you think my brother Joe's red nose is a joke? When Xiaoqing I first read these comments, she was still a little jealous, but as she read them, her mood improved again. Why? Because Mian is not good at arguing. She does have a unique personal charm, but is it good to show it like this in the eyes of her family? Which father can forgive Chen Shen after seeing his daughter behave like this on the show? Just for this reason, it is almost impossible for Chen Shen and Mian to be together. Xiaoqing quit Weibo with satisfaction. The second episode is safe. Chen Shen did go to bed early, at 10 o'clock. He opened his eyes on time at 6 in the morning. In the late autumn morning, the sun rose later and later, and it was still gray outside. Chen Shen got up and took his mobile phone. There were a lot of messages. He took a look at it, then put it aside and started to wash up. Before he finished washing up, the phone outside rang. Chen Shen hurriedly rinsed his mouth and came out. He picked up the phone and saw that it was Zhou Gaikan calling. What happened at the company? Hello. Where are you? Chen Shen frowned. I'm in the hotel. What's wrong? Which hotel? Yuhan Hotel. What's the company's news? Call me so early. However, the response to Chen Shen was a beep, and the other party hung up. At 8:30, Chen Shen carried his computer to the VIP coffee shop as usual. There are many independent areas here, so even if there are people, they will not feel disturbed. Not long after he sat down, Zhou Gaikan called again. Which floor are you on? Chen Shen was a little puzzled, but still said, 4th floor coffee shop, VIP area. Soon, Zhou Gaikan appeared at the door, but he couldn't get in. After Chen Shen greeted him, the waiter let him in. Seeing Zhou Gaikan, Chen Shen looked confused, wearing a mask, and there were dark circles around his eyes. What did you do? Zhou Gaikan sat opposite Chen Shen, and then stared at Chen Shen without saying a word. Chen Shen rolled his eyes and was nervous. After about a few minutes, Zhou Gaikan suddenly lay down on the table, and then his shoulders shook, which frightened Chen Shen. What's wrong? Tell me. What's wrong? Chen Shen quickly reached out to pull him. Zhou Gaikan raised his head with red eyes. I didn't sleep all night last night and couldn't sleep at all. Chen Shen, why? Zhou Gaikan sighed, why? What do you think? You didn't watch the show. Chen Shen thought for a while, and then suddenly realized that he understood that the second episode was broadcast, and it contained the effects of Zhou Gaikan's program. Zhou Gaikan's voice was filled with tears. You're going too far. Really? Starting at 9 o'clock last night, my group of buddies started calling me, and then my dad also called me. I didn't dare to answer any of them. I scrolled through Weibo, and everyone called me a clown. Are you a human being? If there is any trouble in the company, I will tell you how you treated me. Chen Shen sighed. He didn't expect Zhou Gaikan to be so fragile. Zhou Gaikan is indeed not that strong. He was aggrieved until the end of the show. Chen Shen's signing of Huan Yu really gained him a lot of face, and then the two settled their differences. Zhou Gaikan felt that it was not impossible to be friends with such a disgusting person. At least he would not be disgusted with himself in the future, right? At most, he is disgusting to others. To put it bluntly, he is already a little timid when facing Chen Shen and is afraid of being suppressed. He felt that after the show aired, the identities of Chen Shen and Su Yuan as wolves must have attracted a lot of attention. But what happened? I can still be on the hot search, and it jumped to the 3rd place in the morning. Zhou Gaikan couldn't imagine how the group of buddies he had boasted about before would laugh at him, and he didn't know if the group of ladies on WeChat would still care about him. Chen Shen comforted, be strong, this is only the second period, and some of your more serious behaviors are yet to come. Zhou Gaikan stared. Chen Shen immediately changed his mind. I'm just like you, so there must be a lot of people scolding me, right? Isn't my later behavior more scolding than yours? Joe Geiken's eyes turned resentful. Are you scolding me? That is simply a man's medal. If I were to be trending like you, I would take a screenshot and show it to my brothers. Ha! Joe Geiken took out his cell phone, ignored Chen Shen's reaction, stood up and sat next to Chen Shen, then took off his mask. Look at the camera. Chen Shen was a little confused. What do you want to do? What can I do? I'll take a few photos with you, and then send them out if I can't bear them anymore. This is called public relations, right? Chen Shen burst out laughing. It's too small, the pattern is too small. Joe Geiken scolded, you have a big plan. Let's change it. Are you going to be a clown? Chen Shen stopped talking. 1 second Joe Geiken was still scolding, the next second he was hugging Chen Shen and smiling, then picked up his phone to take a selfie. After taking at least 7 or 8 pictures, Joe Geiken returned to the opposite position, and then began to edit the pictures to remove the dark circles under his eyes. After finishing the picture, the expression on Joe Geiken's face finally softened a little. He opened a WeChat group called Brothers, with only 7 or 8 people in it. I don't know if Chan is awake or not. I'm so humming laughing. This is the romance between him and Xia Cheng. Stop talking, are you polite? They are a bunch of villains, not like me. I said it must be in front of him. To put it bluntly, he didn't answer my call yesterday. They are all brothers. It makes me feel like I still want to laugh at him. I finally feel comfortable. Chan used to brag every day, saying that he would have dinner with that artist today, go shopping with that artist tomorrow, and even go on a love show with Xia King Ai. Who is Xia King Ai? That belongs to me. Goddess, I really thought the goddess was captured by him, ha ha ha. Seeing that the group was still chatting, Joe Geiken's breath became thicker, and he directly sent the 2 photos he had just posted to the group. No way, does anyone still believe in variety shows? That's all because of the show. Chen Shen and I are such buddies. We even drank together last night. After sending this message, Joe Geiken didn't care whether they believed it or not. Anyway, there was a reason. Joe Geiken leaned back in his chair, feeling sleepy. However, Chen Shen was typing away on the computer next to him. Joe Geiken curled his lips. Buddy, you've been insomnia all night, why do you act like nothing's wrong? Didn't you really say a word of comfort? The more he thought about it, the angrier he became. Joe Geiken stood up again and said, Old Chen, it's a good thing that I have you with me. We are both at the end of the world, hey. Chen Shen looked over, what do you mean? Joe Geiken chuckled, pretend, keep pretending, how can you still seduce a young lady after this show is broadcast? I am so kind that I will hate you for the rest of my life, right? Mian will probably ignore you. How can it be more difficult for Sister Mo? She is probably going to investigate you. How could it be such a coincidence that you and her appear on the same show? But we are not afraid, brothers will accompany you. After saying this, Joe Geiken felt a lot more comfortable. My brother is a clown online, and you are also a clown offline. You are a bad brother, and I am not alone. At this moment, the sound of high heels sounded, and Joe Geiken turned his head. Sue Mo walked in elegantly wearing an elegant OL suit. She put the computer on the table in front of her, then sat next to Chen Shen, frowning and saying, who is this? Chen Shen burst out laughing. Joe Geiken might have really stayed up late. His hair was messy, the mask was still on his mouth, and he had dark circles under his eyes. Chen Shen whispered, Joe Geiken. Joe Geiken came back to his senses, pointed at Sue Mo somewhat dully, and then pointed at Chen Shen, you guys. Hearing that it was Joe Geiken, Sue Mo finally relaxed her brows. She approached Chen Shen, her arm touching his, and smiled, We are fine. Zhou Gaikan burst into tears, completely breaking down.